I'd like to call the Code Board December meeting to order. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? If so, do I have a motion to accept?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the minutes as stated.
All in favor? Accepting, okay.
Second, all in favor?
Second.
Yeah, she said, he said. You got it, Brenda? You got it?
Roll call?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
I'm sorry.
Code officers, please
Oh, I was
come.
gonna say. Yeah,
Roll
so it's
call,
about-
sorry, roll call.
Mr. Harrington,
Here.
Ms. Marsh,
Right
Here.
Ms. Roby,
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Present.
Madam Chair.
Here,
Oh, take communication. Before.
okay, that's it. Okay. Are there any disclosure of ex parte here?
No, ma'am.
Communications? Having none, okay. Now,
Announcements.
any announcements?
Yes, ma'am. Starting on page 2, CEB 08-22-168,
I'm sorry, which number?
case number 2.
Case number 2, okay. I'm
Yes, sir,
sorry.
page number 2, case number 2.
Okay.
Case number,
Yes, ma'am. CEB 08-22-168, Carol Marie Coltle is in compliance as of 12/6/22. I'm sorry. Page number 4. I'm sorry, before we go to page number 3, I had actually wrote here a note that Mr. Jones will be doing all of Mr. Gates's cases as well.
okay.
Okay. Page number 4. Case number 7, CEB 09-22-204, Bonnie Bondrew Keating. Via Zoom with the attorney. Wait, so I have to say that. I'm sorry. Page number 4.
Actually, the attorney is present.
Oh, okay. No Zoom. Okay.
No Zoom.
Page number 4. Case number 9. 09-22-212, Mark Ty Markham, compliance 12/5/22. Okay. Page number 7. Case number 19. CEB 06-22-131, I'm sorry. Adam S. Kavicki. It's via Zoom.
No, ma'am, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Okay.
So number 21 is here.
Case number 19. 19 is here.
Okay.
Same page, page number 7, case 21. CEB 08-22-169, Diane R. Alexander, via Zoom. Page 8. Case number 24. CEB 09-22-222, Robert N. Van Horn and Melanie R. Van Horn is in compliance as of 11/1/22.
Excuse me, did you say case number 22 was in compliance?
No, sir, 24.
Okay, previously you didn't say that?
No, that's in the CEB, it's CEB 09-22-22, 222, so.
Okay.
The
that's where you
CEB
get the
number.
22s from.
Well, I heard the same thing he heard.
Yeah,
I thought it was case 22.
24 is in
21,
compliance.
case 21.
We're up to case 24, is that correct?
24 is compliant.
Okay.
Okay. I'll proceed. Okay.
You read this when she finishes.
Page number 10, case 25, CEB 1122-251, Richard Grice. It's in compliance as of 11/1/22. Page 12, case number 32, CEB 1022-228, PB Lands LP1 GP Inc. via Zoom.
Wish they dropped that.
Page 12, case number 34, CEB 1122-259, Beth Forrester via Zoom. Page 13, case number 37, CEB 1122-258, Tony Gura and Ashley Ryan, compliance 12/7/22. And then your very last page is the addendum. It's actually a continued case. CEB 0922-227. Continued case. Those are my announcements.
Before we start the cases, do we need to approve the minutes?
We did that already.
Yeah.
We did it?
Yes.
Boy, it must be somewhere else. I didn't hear it.
Okay. At this time, would the code officers please come forward to be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, here are our procedures. We will be calling cases by numbers, and for the most part, in order.
Excuse me, Madam Chair, can we get a motion to Ms. Ouija's not here? Madam Chair's not here.
Yes, that will. Okay. Okay. If there are any attorneys present, we will hear those cases. When your case is called, please come forward and be sworn in. At this time, could I get a motion for our president?
So moved. Make a motion that we excuse Ouija, the chair to the committee, from the attendance for today.
Second.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. I am so screwed up. Our first. Yes. Okay.
Page 2, lien review 1.
Page 2, lien review number 1. CEB 07-19148, Andrea Anderson. Come forward, please. Okay, we'll hear from the inspector first, please.
Yeah, it's Mark Jones, Code Enforcement Supervisor. My credentials are on file. We would like to waive this fine. If you recall, this is one of the properties that we were working with the city on to get the building demolished, and it has been redone. I think we have a photo of it. We don't? Okay, Joe. It's been done. It's an excellent, looks great. They're taking very good care of it. So we would request waiving the fine.
Okay.
And we need to have 4 affirmative votes to do that.
Okay, I have one question. As part of your agreement for the grant, you were to have flood insurance. Do you have flood insurance on that property?
I'm sure that, well, to be honest with you, Rebuild Florida paid the first year of insurance,
Okay,
and at the second year, I'll take over the payment
okay,
of
I just,
insurance.
Excuse me. Can I get you to swear you in, please?
I'm sorry. My name is Andrea Anderson.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
did you have flooding, by the way?
No, sir.
You're lucky. Hey, good for you.
I think they built it like 18 inches above.
Good
sea
for
level,
you.
they said.
Yeah.
I had no problem.
Good.
Thank you.
Can I get
And they
a
did an excellent job.
Yeah, I apologize for not having photos. I thought they were attached, but does look great.
You just need a motion.
Okay, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we take the city's recommendation and and waiving, that's the word I'm looking for.
waive the fine?
We're talking about flooding.
there-
Waiving the fine, I believe it's $10,024.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay. It's been moved and properly second.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Are there any opposed?
Adopted unanimously.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. All right, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Good, done.
Okay. Our next case is case number 1, CEB 0822167, Daniel G. Lanton. Is Mr. Lanton here? Okay.
Yes, since last hearing on September 8th, there's been no progress to get either of these two after-the-fact permits finalized. This case originally opened back in April for work being done without permits. Staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved to second. All in favor? Thank you. Case number 2, CEB 0822168, Carol Marie Carlton.
That is in compliance as of December 6th.
12-6, okay. Case number 3, CEB 0622127, Shannon Martin Shores.
Please state your name. Good morning. State your name.
Shannon Martin.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones.
Yes, since last hearing, I have been in contact with the property owner. The permit for the fence and wall was issued on November 1st, 2022. Staff is recommending amending the compliance to the next cutoff.
Okay.
Which is 1/4 cutoff date, 1/12 meeting date.
One,
So moved.
Second.
okay. Moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Just keep me up to date.
Yeah,
Were you
should be done.
going to
Okay.
hear the attorneys?
Pardon?
Were you going to hear the attorneys? You have
We
at least
can.
2 of them here.
Yes, we can.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Moving pretty
We'll
fast.
move to here. Yeah, we are.
I'm moving pretty fast.
Pretty fast, but, okay. Case number 4, CEB,
Okay, I'm sorry.
CEB 012216, Maybell Brazil. Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler, as soon as Ms. Brazil is sworn in.
You state your name for the record, please,
My name is Annette Pratt.
and your affiliation to.
That's my mother's name, and I have a
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Pratt, you
Did
can pull that
you
mic
s-
down. You can pull that mic down.
Did you say Brazil or Pratt?
Brazil. My name is Annette Pratt. It's my mama house.
Oh,
She passed
okay.
away.
Okay, you're here for your mom. Okay.
Good morning, Inspector Roosevelt Butler. Credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 1058 North Libby Court, since September court proceedings, I've had several contacts with the property owner. Just to bring the board up to speed, this is the case where the home was in probate. The probate process is completed. Also, she needed to get an engineer to come out and sign off on the roof that was installed. That has happened. She currently now has the permit. We're just waiting on it to be finalized. Staff them in to January cutoff.
Okay. Is there any
So moved.
questions?
To the January cutoff.
Second.
Okay.
Did you want to make inquiry if she had anything to say? I'm talking about Ms.
You have anything you want to say, ma'am?
I
No,
asked.
it's good.
I asked.
It's good.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Brazil. So, okay. Case number 5, CEB 042084, Larry Sanders.
State your name for the record.
Larry Sanders, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I is.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, board.
Good morning. Mr. Sanders, we hear from Ms. Kurt.
Good morning. Sarah Kirk, inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. This is a returning case. The property is currently on the city's waiting list for assistance. Mr. Sanders has been on the list since August 12th of 2020. Staff is requesting to amend till the April 2023 cutoff for compliance.
Okay. Okay.
That would be April 5th, April 13th.
That would be into the April 2023.
You have reason to believe something's going to happen?
I do. Another case I have that's on the waiting list, work has begun on that one. So I think it's just a slow process, but eventually it's going to happen.
Yes.
Could we check it like in 2 months instead of giving it 4 months?
Sure.
I'd rather just do the 4 months.
Yeah.
Since it's
Funds are
coming in
there.
for
All right.
5 minutes of staying here.
Okay.
Motion to do the
Okay.
April
What
cutoff of 4/5/23.
is that a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay, it's been motion and second for the April cutoff. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, ma'am.
Case number 6, CEB 09222005, Lotus LLC. Ms. Kurt.
Okay. Oh,
You state your name for the record.
Jacob Stoll.
Jacob,
Jacob Stoll.
can you spell your last name for me, please?
STOLL.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Stowe, you can pull that back up.
And your, Mr. Stoll, and your relationship to,
I'm the owner. It's just under an entity.
It's just on the LLC.
You're the owner of
LLC, yes. You can check the Sunbiz business documents.
Okay, Ms. Kirk.
Okay. Since the last hearing, there has been contact and there has been a lot of progress. Staff is requesting to amend to the next hearing or next cutoff for compliance.
Could you tell me what's been done according to the list we have here?
Sure. Well, as you can see, if you go back to the first picture right there, okay, so that was in March of 2022. And so you can see a lot's been done. There have been 3 permits that are finalized, the driveway. There was a little bit of confusion with the contractor, so the driveway needs to be permitted. There's no permit on file, so they corrected that, but with no permit. But the electrical has been finalized. The shed has been removed, which included the windows and the staircase. So basically, it's just about in compliance with the exception of getting a permit for the driveway, which Mr. Stoll was under the impression that it was. His contractor did get it permitted.
So it'll be done by the next cutoff, by January?
Most definitely.
Are there any more questions?
I make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation to move this case to the next cutoff date.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, now, case number 7 CEB 0922204, Bonnie Virgil Keating.
Ms. Keating is here. I'm Tanner Andrews.
Okay.
I'm the attorney on the file here.
Okay.
And yes, I should probably.
Ms. Keating speaking. Are you going to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Swear in, please.
Need to have her sworn.
Sworn in, please.
Yeah.
will you raise your right hand? First of all, can you tell me your name?
Bonnie Keating.
Bonnie Keating, okay.
Bonnie Boudreaux Keating Sharp.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hear from Mrs. Kirk first, please.
Okay. Since the last hearing, there has been minimal contact and no known progress. Staff is requesting a $100 a day fine with a max of $10,000.
Okay.
There's a few things that we need to tell y'all. First and foremost, that there were evidently 2 unpermitted plastic accessory uses, aka sheds, on the property. Those have been removed. She has neglected to call the code inspector to go back out and verify their removal. So we'd like to have time to deal with that now that she knows she needs to call the code inspector to go back out and show or see that they have been removed.
When were you out there last, Sarah?
I'm sorry?
When were you out there last?
I have actually never been on the property. I've only been at the complainant's backyard. Was able to see the structures from her backyard. There's more than just 2 plastic sheds that are unpermitted. There's an easement in the back, a city utility easement, and there's some accessory structures that are actually in the easement, and then others that aren't, have the setback requirements aren't met. So there's at least 6 accessory structures on the property.
Yeah, when you say accessory structure.
Yeah.
Okay, so sheds, gazebo, there's a temporary carport up front.
That was also removed.
Okay, so, I'm sorry?
That was immediate.
That's gone, okay.
That's been gone.
So are you going to invite the code enforcement officer to come on your property since she's never been
I
on?
never understood that. First of all, it was like heck to even try to get somebody to remove what I've had to be removed. One of the sheds have been there more than 20 years that I had removed. I'm just a female. I had to hire people to try to do it. It's difficult right now to get anybody to work.
Yeah.
I'm just a bartender. I'm trying to hire whoever.
Yeah, I think everybody my question is you need the code person to come out there, do a diagram. She can show you
Yeah,
exactly
and I
what
have
it is.
A new survey that was done in October that
Yeah.
shows.
But I think what he's asking is, would you allow the inspector to come on your property to check it?
Yeah, because I'd like to know furthermore of what to do, because even the carport, the car cover is gone now. That's been gone. 2 of the sheds have been removed. One of them was there more than 20 years.
Yeah.
And was there even when I pulled a permit for that pool, for the extension of the house back in 2007. Nobody said anything about those sheds being there. I have photos of 2004 with my neighbor's shed being right up against the fence where I built that other shed. You know, it's
Okay.
this neighborhood, we really have, I've lived there 30 years. The fence line was put in before the houses were built. Some of the fences still go all the way
Okay.
across.
Can I interrupt you? What I'm saying is we're in the dark here. We don't really have a diagram. We don't know which structures are down and which are still up. And I would suggest to the board that we allow them another 30 days. They get together. The next time we come here, we've got a chart we can look at and know specifically, you know, item by item what we're talking about. Otherwise, we dancing in the dark.
Okay, I think that's probably a reasonable approach here. She now knows that we need to have the code inspector get back out to verify that the carport she mentioned, or car cover, however you want to describe it, that's gone, and that these sheds are gone off of the property, so that we can.
We will on your
So,
record,
in
there'd be
other
no
words,
objection for her to
can
come out
I
and take a look.
get, right. Can I get
You
a
have no objection for her to come out and take a look.
motion? That's-
Right, that's what we're
Okay.
saying.
So we need a motion for
Madam
the
Chair,
next,
before you do that, if I could just make sure it's clear to Mr. Andrews as well as Ms. Keating, that the position of the city is that this has been going on since March, and so our desire is to see it completed by the next cutoff, and that's just the reason it can't be. The communication will probably help a lot, though. As soon as you can get with the inspector, let the inspector know what's going on. She can tell you exactly what she knows you need to do, and if it's impossible, it's impossible, but we need to know you report a good faith.
I really did not, sorry, I didn't understand that I had to have them come out, but I took pictures
understand
while
now?
they're being removed.
Okay.
I think that's what we're voting on now, that she be able to come on the property and by next cutoff.
Well, my clarification is that what we're voting on is that they be in compliance with next cutoff, so that we're
Right.
amending to the next
Yeah.
cutoff. Well, part of that will require them to allow, of course, an inspection, have the re-inspections necessary, so that the inspector can
Right.
do the act of compliance.
Let me say I'd like a clarification. You know, he's saying full compliance, and I think that may be unreasonable for a couple of reasons. I mean, first of all, you know, while we think we've cured it, you know, the inspector could go out and say, oh, well, there was this other thing that you didn't realize, and that may require a cure. And so, you know, when we come back, you know, this is a hypothetical, obviously, because I don't know what the inspector's going to say when she's out there, but you know, when we come back, we'll all be better informed, as we were hearing earlier. Yes, come back in with a chart and some sort of knowledge of exactly where we stand.
My press is merely, if I may, Mr. Andrews, my press is merely for ensuring that we're just moving forward in good faith and we're pressing to get towards an end.
Right, but that I agree with. I'm just saying,
Okay.
I'd like to be back here, but I don't know that I can guarantee full compliance next time because we, as the board, we are not clear on what additional issues there may be that we haven't cured, and we want to be sure.
I think that's why Mrs. Burke is going there. You were going to say.
Oh, yes, thank you. I did speak with Ms. Keating back after the September hearing, and I did go over all the structures need to have permits. So we went over it. The pool, like she said, is permitted. There was an addition to the main home is permitted. The 2-story, cabana house, beach house.
I called it pool house, but
pool
it was
house.
a house back in '92 when I had it built.
Okay. So per the Volusia County property appraiser's aerial view, I can see that it's been there since before 2006. So I only can assume that that was permitted. But all the other, the sheds and and the gazebo, those all need to be permitted or removed if they're not permitted.
The one next to the 2-story was back then.
Right, and we discussed this
The
back
little one
in
was
late
back then,
September.
But I did remove that because you told me I can't have more than 3 structures, added structures.
My only thought is that it has the couple times I have spoken with Ms. Keating, it's been clear as to what needs to be done. So I would think by the next hearing or cutoff, it should be be able to be in compliance.
So the one that was allowed back right after I built the 2-story pool house, that one right next to it, that was removed.
Okay.
And I have to add again, it is so hard to get people to come out and do things. And I don't have a lot of money to go hire a contractor to take down the shed, nor am I able to take down things. But that is something that was allowed back then, but because I was told I can't have more than 3 added structures, I removed that one. That one, and then the back corner one, that there was always a shed there, that even when I had all of this built with the permits, nobody told me back then that we couldn't have that shed in the corner. Same with that whole line of all of the neighborhood. We all have the sheds back at the end of the property, and that's, the homes were built in 1954, the fence line was built before 1954.
Okay, then. Is there a motion?
Yes. I would like to make the motion that we accept the city's recommendation that they come into compliance by the next cutoff date. However, if there's a concern about any new violations, that we deal with them at that time. That's my motion.
I'm just taking things down.
There's a motion, please?
I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Okay, Ms. Keating, you have until the next.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. Ms. Keating, you have until the next cutoff to come into compliance, but please stay in touch with the inspector.
Yes.
And that will eliminate a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. What happens if the next one, if for some reason you just couldn't get it done because
Okay.
something will open this up, they consider all that.
Want to take it?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, case number 8, CEB 0922211, Michael O'Neill and Paul M. and Nora B. Schaefer. Mr. Boston. Okay. Mr. Boston.
Morning.
Hearing, I've been in contact with the owner,
He finished the roof, but he failed the inspection with the city. He did not, get the roof inspected throughout the process. So now he has to get a engineer to sign off on the roof. Don't know how long that's going to take. So staff requests a fine of $100 a day with a max of $10,000.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So he failed the inspection?
Yes, he failed the inspection on December the 5th. He never called the building department to come out to verify the process and all that stuff.
So he didn't, well, I guess I'm asking, nobody went out there and looked at it because he didn't call anyone. Is that what happened?
Correct. He applied for the permit as a homeowner. He was going to do it himself and have, the city come out and inspect. He never called them. He did everything. When I told him that he had to get the permit final so we can close out the case, that's when he finally called for the inspection, and they failed him because he didn't, follow the process.
I'd like to make a motion to fine him just $50 a day so he can get the inspection done. But we'll have to tear off half of that.
The $10,000 cap also? $10,000 cap?
Yeah, 10,000.
Second.
Did I hear a second?
Yes.
Second, okay. It has been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number 9, CEB 0922-212.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Mark Ty Mark.
That was in compliance.
Compliance. I'll get it. Case number 10, so I don't have to read it. Case number 10, CEB 0922-213, Carl D. and Charles M. Weaver.
Ma'am,
Ms. Weaver.
can you state your name for the record?
Tara Kendall.
Kendall, Kendall.
Yes.
Yeah. And your affiliation?
I am the granddaughter of Carl D. Weaver.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Since the last hearing, I've been in contact with Tara a few times. No progress was made on the property. Staff requests a fine of $100 a day, max of $10,000.
Is there anything would you like to
I am
say?
currently living there, yes, with my dad, who was part of the probate that's going on.
And there's an office that's fixed and all sent from these pictures.
That damage is from both Ian and Nicole.
Are there any other questions? Can I get a motion?
Well, I'm just, some of the things have been done, haven't it? Because I don't
No, nothing has been done. No, ma'am. The last two storms did cause, the side of the house right there to, fall off. But I believe the problem is that the property's in probate. I spoke to Tara earlier this week, and I believe she told me that it's in contract to be purchased.
There's a contract that I have with me. I have also emailed it to Mr. Bostwick's office
A contract for what?
to purchase the property. It's a company that come in and either refurbish the home or knock it down and start over.
What's the date on your property
The,
contract?
the original date or the closing date?
You have a closing date already?
The closing date is set for December 30th currently. Due to the probate, I'm in the process of requesting through them because in order to clear out the home, I have to have yard sales and an estate sale to put towards the probate for my uncle's belongings. since he's the one that we're in the probate for. And that has to be put to the estate account so that it can be split among the parties.
Okay, I'm just a little concerned because it won't be able to go through the fine running on your home.
The sale,
Right.
yeah, we're in the process of letting them know also. I did let my cousin know, who is, I think, the new assigned PR for the estate. I did let him know that this was going on. Whether he's let the company know or not, I do not know. I don't think that because there were no fines before that I don't think he let them know for that reason. I'm not sure he really understood the pertinence.
What do you, Mr. Jackson, what do you think? I mean, it won't be able to go through if we impose a fine today, correct?
I don't have that answer. I mean, that's an issue for, if it's being financed, how it's being purchased, those types of things. Part of the situation will be that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, part of the situation will be that whoever comes in, there's an active case, so they need to be all that need to be fully disclosed, and they're actually just stepping in as an additional party. They won't take it away from the parties that are currently involved in this case.
I can say that it is a cash as is purchase.
Can I,
Hold on a sec, let me just talk with you.
I'm just thinking that maybe we could give them 30 days to let the sale go through and let them, the new people, that way at least you can get out of it and it's on them.
Right, because as far with the probate going on, my dad doesn't actually have the money to move until the sale goes through. He's living on Social Security month to month currently.
But I don't
Which is
think
another
it's-
reason why the problems are not taken care of. Is that he can't. He's literally living on what he has for the entire time.
Okay, if I may.
Yes.
I don't think it's our onus to get her off anything.
Well, it's not getting her off.
Well, that's
I'm
what
just
you
trying-
said.
No, I'm just trying to make it easier on everybody, including the board.
No, I'm willing to work, but I don't
Well
think.
taken. If I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
I'm just trying to help us get
Go
there.
ahead, go ahead.
Mr. Jackson.
If my understanding is, and maybe my understanding wasn't full with, Ms. Kendall, your role, but y'all are completing a probate, and that's part of your probating process is that this settlement of sale. Is that part of it, or is that just something
Yes.
after the probate ended?
It is part of it. In order for the probate to be completed, the house has to be sold.
Yeah, okay. With that being the circumstance, we normally would allow this additional time to allow that. We don't have a problem, at least from the city's perspective, to allow additional time to complete that process.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we amend to the next meeting to try and settle your business and.
Settle the estate.
Yeah, settle the estate.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and
Before we vote,
seconded.
I agree with what you're saying. It's not our job to get involved, but all we're doing here is granting extra time because they have a problem. We're not.
The motion on the
we're
floor.
I just seconded it.
Yeah, I know. I'm
It's
just
a motion.
making a point.
All in favor?
Aye.
You like to be agreed with, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Keaton,
Thank
thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
At this time, we're going to differ a little. We're calling case number 30 CEB 1122252, Jan Ronstein.
Good morning, Board. Attorney Rothstein, on behalf of Jan Rothstein.
Jan Rothstein.
Mr. Batiste.
Page 30.
Page 30.
Yeah.
Number 30, page 11.
Number 30.
Ms.
Will you be
Ronstein?
speaking, Ms. Bessie? Will you be speaking?
Will she be speaking?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Could you please be sworn in?
Will you state your name again for me, please?
Dan Rothstein.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Batiste.
Well, before we begin, ma'am, there's a little point of order we need to take. When the city sends out these letters, ma'am, when the city sends out these letters for these so-called violations,
I'm sorry, but excuse me, but we're not into, we have to hear from our inspector, we have to follow our process, not your process. We have to follow our
We're
process.
going to let him go on.
with all due
Let him
respect,
speak.
sir, there's something called due process. And Mr. Sino can advise.
We're letting you speak. Go ahead. What do you want to bring up?
Okay. This was certified that it was sent out on November 9th, 2022. This is postmarked December 1st, 2022. The certified, and this is a charging document under the law, meaning these are the allegations, this is the information. This is a copy of it, sent certified, alleged on the 9th, but it wasn't mailed out till the 17th. So the only thing I'm pointing out is when you're sending these letters out, or these charging documents, and they say a certain date, they need to be sent out on the actual date. Otherwise, that can create problems.
Okay, well documented. I'm sure our attorneys will see to that.
I'm sure he will
thank
take
you.
note of that and
Now,
inform the council and
ins-
anybody else that needs to know that.
Inspector
Thank you.
Batiste, thank you.
Morning, folks.
Yes.
Inspector Jean-Baptiste. This was a field observation on January 27th, 2022, with the following violations: failure to clean dirt and grime off all exterior surfaces and repaint, failure to repair discolored and peeling paint. Notice of violation was generated and it was sent certified mail. However, it went unclaimed. As such, the property was posted on July 22nd, 2022, with 15 days to comply. Upon a site re-inspection on September 7th, 2022, the facility is not in compliance. I've had contact with the owners. Please note that initially there were other landscaping issues that were added. However, those have since been in compliance. So at this time, what remains is what you're currently seeing is the exterior peeling, the discolored paint. As such, staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff, please.
Okay. Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, we have pictures to show the board that she is in compliance. The first problem I have is if you look at the notice of hearing and the actual violation, and these are charging documents under the law. If you look at this document that's been provided, and we look at it closely, it says notice of violation. Failure to clean dirt and grime off all exterior surface and repaint as needed. It's vague and ambiguous. In other words, it needs to specify the specificity what exact parts the allegations are that the homeowner has violated under these ordinances or whatever these are codes you're using. Showing pictures on the date of the hearing and saying, well, this is out of compliance and that is out of compliance does not comport with due process and actual notice to the homeowner or the corporation that owns it. So therefore, I ask that this be dismissed, and they can refile it with proper notice and specificity so that the homeowner knows this part of the house is deficient and what is deficient and what isn't, so that when we come here before the board, it can actually either be A, put into compliance, which is the easiest thing, or B, there can be argument in front of the board that, no, I think this complies, or no, it doesn't. But first, we have to have adequate notice as to what the violation is.
Sir, okay.
Excuse me.
I
Didn't you
hear what
say
you're
she's-
saying, but it reads here, failure to clean dirt and grime off all exterior surface, all. So I don't think he could have gotten it plainer than that, and repaint as needed. So.
I have a
if
question.
you were-
Didn't you say she's in compliance?
I think she is.
Well, then how did she come in compliance if she didn't know what to do?
Well, you sort of just have to guess. That's the problem,
Oh.
Mr. Harrington.
But you got it done. According to you, you're in compliance, so.
Madam Chair.
Guessing or no, it's done. Can
on
you
the
show
notice-
us the photos of what you did?
She does have photos.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's look
On,
at
on the
it.
notices of violation, each inspector's contact information is located there. So if at any time she had any questions or doubt, she could have reached out to the inspector or the supervisor.
Well, I'm willing to look at the photos if they're
Okay,
in compliance.
please.
Hi. So I did speak to,
Can I be heard?
I'm sorry.
Can I be heard first?
Oh, she, okay.
Can I
Okay,
just
oh,
make one
yes,
inquiry
yes,
of the
I'm
inspector?
sorry, I didn't see you.
Yeah, may I make an inquiry?
Sure.
Did you issue an initial notice of violation?
An additional?
The initial
No.
notice of violation. I'm not talking about this summary that we have here at this meeting, but did you submit to the respondent a notice of violation?
A notice of violation was posted at the property, yes, sir.
Okay, and that notice of violation had all the information regarding the violation.
It had all the information regarding the violation. It's,
Including the code sites that were
Correct, sir.
required.
Yeah.
Did it also include the remedies for the violation?
correct, sir.
And that's been posted even in the public record on the public site
Correct, sir.
for this respondent to be able to view if she so elect?
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
What we have, what Mr. Roston was just referring to and looking at as an attachment to the hearing notice, isn't that really just a summary of the overall notice of violation?
Correct, sir.
And that is not the complete notice. That's not the notice that was initially originally that was attached.
Correct,
for
sir.
the information for the respondent.
Correct.
Okay.
And furthermore, I've had a conversation with the homeowner where we talked about exactly what needed to be done, which is why the landscaping was cared for and it's no longer part of the violations that we now see here.
That's hearsay. We're not here for something that's.
Okay.
Hearsay is
We're
relevant
not-
in an administrative proceeding.
Yes. Could I get a motion?
Well, I was going to respond to Attorney
He wants to have it dismissed or not. The motion on dismissal, yes or no?
Okay. Is
Dealing with that
there,
issue.
the motion on the
He's asked to be
dismissal is a
dismissed.
no?
Anybody want to agree? What is it?
Well,
Motion to accept or deny the motion?
I make a motion that we deny the request to
Dismiss.
dismiss.
There a second?
A second.
Second. Okay.
All in favor?
Okay. Now, can we get a vote?
We need a vote. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so that motion to dismiss has been denied.
Okay. Your dismissal has been denied.
Now, he's
Yeah.
And how about the pictures and rebuttal?
Okay.
I have no problem. Why show us the pictures?
As the inspector on site, the reason was specifically that last picture, if I may see that again, please. That last picture specifically shows how one side has the dirt and grime, whereas the neighbor's side is painted properly.
That's
That-
my property.
That's your property. However, if you go behind the pole there, you'll see that it's all in uniform, and that was the purpose.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, and what
Are we
is,
able to
Ms. Beatty, what was your recommendation?
Our recommendation as a city is finding of non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
It is, Mr.
Why
Rock.
not? We never got to present evidence.
Pardon?
We have pictures that we'd like to present. I think Mr. Harrington said he'd like to see them.
See the pictures.
I don't see any problem.
Where are
seeing
the
pictures.
I agree with Mr. Harrington.
I'm sorry?
Yes,
Where
he
are
says they
the
gotta see
pictures?
Thank you, Mr. Senior. How do I do that? How do we show the board?
Yeah, that's,
I guess you could walk up and down, and can we approach?
Can you
Mr.
put
Senior?
the pictures on?
Can you
I'm sorry,
put
there's no
them-
pictures that would be able to be left for the record?
yeah.
I mean, I put it on here so you could see the time, date.
Well, you'll be able to submit those after the fact level we address.
Okay,
I don't have a problem with that if the chair.
that's fine, Mr. Jackson. I
We,
appreciate that. May we
So
approach
what are
the
you
board?
saying?
Could not,
Want to see the pictures?
Gonna be forever.
Yes, yes, you may.
could not technical guy put them on the screen?
I asked earlier, he didn't hear me. I don't know his name.
Anyway,
Let's just look. Let's-
you can't put them on.
So would you like to look too?
Sure.
Put it here, we can both see it.
I'm sorry, Ms. Ross, is this a series of pictures or is it, I mean,
It's
about,
probably 20, 25.
and, okay.
And we'll show them
so-
to you too, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this
and
is,
that's fine, I didn't know
Let's
which way
take a look
to.
at the pictures. Good.
Yeah, okay, whichever banner the board prefers, I'm fine with it. No objection.
Where would they
To
take?
have one of that wall,
Yeah, you know, the construction that they did out there,
Right.
it really did a job on all that stuff.
I assume that we had that conversation.
See, I own that property next door.
Oh, very nice.
What we're asking for is to be
Inspect-
continued.
excuse me, Mr. Baptiste, when was the last
Please go ahead
time
and
you was
inspect it.
there?
No.
Last time I was there,
Inspect it, see if it's, no.
your wall.
Right, that's all.
Anytime.
What we are, at this point is, except that we are looking for funding.
So it is.
We just do a continuance of this meeting?
Yeah, this is where, this is the
You just-
picture.
you
This
Meeting?
is taking a lot of time.
Yeah,
This wall yours?
That's the wall, yeah.
and what about that, do you have a picture of where the wrought iron's coming down?
the dates should be in the pictures.
Yeah,
If they,
if you look at the cup up here, this is from November 29th.
November 29th.
Okay,
Is when the picture was taken.
This is it.
Okay, and your
That's
picture
my
is
picture.
November 1, right?
okay.
JB's, Gene Baptiste.
Hey, hold on, hold on.
How
Hold
long
on.
we talking?
It's a quasi judicial hearing, we can't be
And it-
having sidebars. Okay, now,
Ma'am,
we need an opportunity to see the pictures, opportunity for somebody to go out and
Not
inspect it.
necessarily.
We'll be continued for 30 days.
Madam
Although he
Chair,
has pictures from what, 5, 6 days ago?
I think the inspection would be the issue, ultimate issue for the board is the inspector's reinspection of the property, which he'd need that opportunity, and he'll be able to respond to whether it's in compliance or not in compliance.
Yes, I would like to get a motion
In terms
I'll
of
make a
to continue for 30 days.
That the city finds?
We're not asking, if I can clarify, we're not asking for a continuance, we're asking for a finding of non-compliance. That's what we
Okay,
believe
right.
is
Finding of
the
non-
circumstance. I don't know if
Compliance
there's,
with compliance by the next
Yes.
cutoff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is there a second?
yes.
again, they get the right to be heard.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, you have a motion of non-compliance and you will return in 30 days. Would you stay in touch?
We need to get the pictures to the staff so they can see them.
Yeah, you need to have the
And then go ahead and
pictures
take a look
off
at
of
it.
that.
You may be in compliance.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
You can argue your point at the next meeting.
Thank you.
You won't be back, let's go and get that taken care of.
Right.
Cheaper to pay than to.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, have a Merry Christmas.
Always a pleasure.
Don't lose you to me, boy.
Our pictures are
Okay.
correct.
Case number 11, CB 09222208, Wendy Lou Thatcher Estate.
What case we had? I'm sorry.
11.
Mr. Alderman.
Ready?
Yes.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, my name is Steve Alderman, Code Compliance Inspector for the City of Daytona Beach. This case, since the last hearing, there has been contact with Mr. Galo, who is the Senior Litigation Specialist with Penny Mac from Mar Park, California. There has been some progress. The front yard has been maintained, the front door has been replaced, and a lock put on it. But the main thing that is still not in compliance is going to be the gate that you see there. And I apologize for my lack of photos, because I took a photo this morning that shows that gate completely disintegrated, and the pile of debris that has been the initial cause right behind it. I took the photo, but there was no way I could put it on the case. But I hate to walk this tablet around and show you, but it is a mess.
I gotta go, it says condemned, so are they
Yes.
gonna, I mean, once they condemn the building and tear it down, all that debris will go away, correct?
Well, that is true, but the condemnation is based upon a electrical meter that was attempted to jump, so they cut it at the meter and they cut it at the pole. It has no water. Those two things would allow the property to actually remove the condemnation, because technically, it's not that bad a shape other than those two necessities required by the code. Now, this case was opened a long time ago for the trash and debris around that fence. There was a girl that moved into the house, cleaned up and raked and put that metal back up on that gate that you see. But unfortunately, that is not the way it looks this morning, because I took a picture of it on the way to work this morning. And that was, I believe that photo was about 3 months ago. It should, here you go. Can you go a little further on that one? I believe it was 8/26. Yeah, 8/26 of 22. My photo was taken this morning, and that is if it would be recommended, I can show you the photo.
Well, it says estate here, so.
Right.
Is there any,
Well, that has been taken care of by Mr. Galo in California for Penny Mac. That bank now owns it. So it's been in litigation for over a year, and it's finally been done. Mr. Galo, I was surprised because I talked to him on 11/28/22, because he's been in contact with Mr. Cecil and Kim Flaherty as well. So I received an email chain stating all these facts that they've been going through. And when Mr. Galo called me, he wanted to know what was left. And I said, the only thing left is that gate and that pile of debris that I took a photo of this morning. And that was just 11/28 of 2022.
so he's not willing to clean it up?
Well, he lives 3,000 miles away.
Well, he needs to get somebody here.
He did say that he was going to have a local attorney show, and I was really surprised that there was nobody here. But in order to get a fine on this, I do need to show you the photo I took this morning, if that's okay.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I mean, this will be a lot quicker.
Have a moment.
Okay.
Just because it's condemned does not mean.
Right.
Okay.
Let's go see.
Have to change gears just to make everything smoother. I'd like to amend to the next cutoff to allow notice to Penny Mac in California so that we get the current owners online as far as who owns it, and then we can take care of it from there.
Stop.
That's
Make that motion.
That's why we have Tony.
You've informed him that he's
The
up
motion
for a
and
fine.
second, all in favor?
Pardon?
You've already informed him he's up for a
Yes,
fine.
I have.
Mr. Harrington, you didn't vote.
Next cutoff.
What?
She asked for the vote.
Case.
You didn't vote, you were talking to him.
Oh, well.
You vote?
They want
Yes.
to register your vote, Mr. Harrington.
Yes,
You vote aye?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Case number 12.
Thank you.
CB 0722161. La Losa Bohinky Estate. Bohinky. At 401 North Orlando. Mr. Beatty.
Good morning again. This case, since last hearing, I've had communications with the occupant who's not the owner because the owner is deceased and the occupant is currently going through probate. They are still in that process. I'm not aware of, I've not spoken to the probate attorney, so I'm not aware of where the process is at this time. As such, staff is requesting to amend to the February cutoff, please.
Okay.
She's shown up here every time. I didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we take the city's recommendation and amend to 2/1/23.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Case number 13, CEB 09222221. Andrew Scribber and Cheryl Collar at 307 Manhattan Avenue. Mr. Stevens.
Good morning. John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. My qualifications are on file. Since the last hearing, I have had no contact with this property owner. There have been no permits applied for or issued, and the roof is still in disrepair. City is asking for $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
So move.
That's my house there. I don't know. That's
The person is here.
I didn't hear my name.
Are you 307?
307 Manhattan.
Is it your case?
Come on up.
Come on.
Andrew.
Schreiber. There you go.
Okay, sir. Driver, okay.
There we go.
Right.
Recognize the house, the car.
Good thing you saw your house.
Mr. Scriber, would you turn to be sworn in, please?
All right.
Will you repeat your name for me, please?
Andrew Schreiber.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, again, Mr. Simpson.
The facts are the same. Since the last hearing, I've had no contact. There's been no permits applied for or issued, and the roof is still in disrepair. We're asking for $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
So there's still parking in the yard and the damage.
The parking issue has been corrected. The only thing left is the roof.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Scriber, would you like
I don't know
to
if you said that there's been no contact, but I have spoken to him a couple of times already in order to find out when the date was, because I'm not even receiving letters. And that's how I found out that it was today, December 8th. Was with my phone, a phone call to him again. I'd like to find out why that's happening, number one. And number two, I still need time. I can show here, I have a condo in Altamont Springs that is up for sale. Once that is done, I will have the money then to go ahead with it. Until then, I do not have the funds for it. I've had surgery. Tomorrow, I'm flying up to New York for dental implants for the final flight up there for that. Down here, it's $6,000 a tooth. Up there, it's $2,000 a tooth. And it's crazy down here. But the house will get taken care of. I can get in a permit. Permit is useless right now until I have the money. Unless the board wants to float me a very low interest rate until the house is sold, it's going to run probably $25,000 at today's prices to get the roof done the right way.
Okay.
I'd also like to find out who the person is. I'm pretty sure I know who it is that is turning this block, my house, and others on there. As he walks through with his two dogs, he's just looking for any violations, anybody that's not his friend. That's what happens to be. I don't know the guy. I don't want to know him.
Sir,
I'm not
speak into
hearing
the mic.
you
I'm not hearing clearly.
as well. Maybe it's me,
Speak
but
in-
Pull your
pull
mic
your
down a
mic
little bit.
down. I'm not hearing you as well.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So I also wear hearing aids, so when you're speaking, I can hear you then. So But I'd like to find out who the person is that, under the code here, I'm entitled to know who is making the complaints all the time. That house right now, that house.
You're saying who made the complaint? We have inspectors.
Right, and the person wants to remain anonymous, but I believe under the code, I'm entitled to know who it is in Volusia
Correct.
County.
Do you know who it is? Was it a self-generated, or do you have a complaint?
I believe this case was initiated using the rule of six, meaning there was another property on the street that had violations. So without singling one person
Right
out,
across the street from me and next door to him.
there you go.
His
Allow
car
me to
hit,
explain, Mr.
just to give you an example of something here. Louis, who is 2 houses over from across the street from me, he came home one night, I don't know whether he was drunk or whatever, his car went into his garage door. The next morning, he's got a complaint already sent to him.
Okay,
Mr.
can
Street,
we
he want to
hear?
explain to you what that process is, so you may want to just let him finish telling you what the process is, so you can understand what happened. If you just tell him what that rule of six as you expressed it.
Right. The rule of six, in general, if your house has a violation, both houses on each side are going to be inspected, plus the 2 houses across the street are going to be inspected.
And when you say that, you mean a visual inspection, you're not going knocking on their door and asking?
That's correct. That's correct. If I visually see a violation, then I move forward with that process. But
So you didn't necessarily need 6 people or someone to point out 6 houses. If you went to one house, you may have seen something on the other houses.
that's correct.
And this house was one particularly that you wrote up because you saw something.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay.
I find it kind of strange, but that's okay. But again, the house itself, the roof, which is the main complaint right now, that has been, since the storms, it's been re-nailed down and everything else. I don't know if this picture is after that or not, but that has been nailed down, whatever you want to call it at that time, and new top put on the chimney. That's what we're getting leaks from day one, that's when we bought the house. The inspections down here need to have something done about that. Because that's not the first time around down here. The inspections are not done. They may come and look and say, okay, everything is fine. And I can point out a number of things.
Sir,
That's
I
not
really
besides the point.
want to give you a fair hearing, but I can't hear you if you're not speaking into the mic.
No, I am. The problem is, but I'll take my hearing aids out and my voice will become normal. Right now, I feel like I'm shouting. And I know I'm not. I've been told that many times.
Yeah.
So if I can take the hearing aids out, that may not help, but.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
All right.
So.
Is this any better? Or?
Well, can I ask a question? Do you have any contracts on your condo in Altamont Springs that?
I have a contract to show that, well, not a buyer yet, but I have the contract here that's up for sale.
Okay, because I'm just saying if maybe we give you till the next cutoff, maybe you can get, you can apply for the permit, because that will stop Mr. Stenson's process once you get that permit. So that's what I'm trying to look at is if you've got somebody a little remotely interested in your condo, you can go out and get the permit, stop Mr. Stenson, and you don't have to see us.
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I could be heard. The position of the city here is, one, I think I could speak for all of us here, that we're sympathetic to the circumstance. Everyone right now is dealing with trying to get things done, and I understand that. We have historically not waited for people to make sales or things in the future because we don't know when they would ever occur. And compliance is just a part of the necessary part of this process. If there was something truly pending and that we would be able to have something, a firm grasp on, maybe it could be something we would be agreeing with and speaking to as well, but that's generally not the city's position. And as we always tell people, if they continue proceeding in good faith, they can come back, seek a lien review if a lien is imposed, or if a fine is imposed. But our position on this is that we'd love to see the roof get fixed. We understand he's waiting for funds, and sometimes people just don't have the money. But if he's not in the process, then there's really not a whole lot more we can do at this stage. Is that about right, Mr. Stenson?
Okay.
I have no problems with Mr. Stenson, none whatsoever. So,
I'd like to make a motion that we agree with the city's recommendation of imposing a fine, but I would change the fine to $50 a day.
I will still take exception to that. I will get a permit done in place within the week.
Okay, so there you have it. So that's my motion.
Second.
You can always do the lien review.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I just want to make one clarification. Obtaining the permit does not stop Inspector Stinson's process. It's getting the permit final is what's going to stop it.
Well, but at least he has 6 months to get the work started and go.
Well, that's not how our process works, but
It'll work, it'll be evidence for me in the lien review anyway when it comes back.
Yeah.
Help his
I will
case.
Okay.
I'll get the permit
I
within
don't need to vote.
That's not a problem there. If I had known that would stop
Well,
a
he
lot
just
of this
said it
process.
really, it doesn't, but.
It doesn't stop it. And when you get the permit and when it's completed, you can return for a lien review.
Again, I can't hear you at that point. So it's the reverse problem with the hearing aids.
Mr. Stinson, can you explain it to him, please?
Hold on a second. I took the hearing aid out, so I couldn't even hear now.
We
So
did. And it said all in favor. Yeah.
Okay, good.
We voted on it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I have a clarification. When the gentleman asked about anonymous or not getting to know who filed the complaint, there was a change in the law, as you recall, that we were informed that they could no longer do anonymous and that you're entitled to know who. So, just to clarify that for you.
But they explained the six to him, how they.
No, I know. That's not the case here.
Oh.
That's not the case here now. But just to clarify what you brought up, that there was a law that was changed to give you the opportunity.
not to belabor the point, but I cannot hear you. Have to speak up. Again, it's like my problem here is speaking up
I'll
to you.
solve that too. I cannot hear you.
Mr.
Okay.
Schreiber, can you?
All right, fine.
With our next case, thank you.
All right.
Case number 14, CEB 06222130.
Absolutely.
Gail E. Starks and Joyce Sibley.
You didn't make, no.
Mr. Stinson.
John Stinson, Inspector with the City. My qualifications are on file. Since the last hearing, I have had no contact with this property owner. However, they have applied and obtained the permits for the roof. The work has not yet begun. Nothing has been done yet. I really don't know why, because the permits have been issued. The city is asking for the imposition of a fine of $100 per day to be kept at $10,000.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Anybody here in this case at all?
Motion to accept the city's recommendation.
Second.
Oh, this, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's $100 per day to compliance. Okay. Case number 15, CEB 06222124, Yvonne C. Pierce, 105 North Paul Revere Drive. Mr. Stinson.
That's a different case. In this particular case, 105 North Paul Revere, it's the same situation as the last. This particular property, Miss Pierce is deceased. Her brother resides there. He still hasn't gotten the property into his name or gone into probate in order for him to obtain the permits for the roof. There's been nothing done. City's asking for the imposition of a fine of $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Same one.
Case number 16, CEB.
Excuse me. I'd like to go back to that 105 North Paul Revere. We've had a notice issue from the hearings, and I'd like to amend this case to give them proper notice to the next cutoff.
Okay, so
So,
I need to make a motion to
Withdraw the
rescind-
motion.
Withdraw the previous motion.
I'll motion to withdraw my motion.
Second.
Okay.
need a vote.
Now,
Question though, I do have a question because.
Hold on a second. You
Oh.
go to rescind your previous motion.
yes.
Every second, we need a vote.
Okay.
Well,
we've
we-
already-
Aye, all ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Now you can get it back on a new motion.
Okay.
Okay.
You give him-
Well, I just had an observation that although there was an issue with this last notice, this case has been going on since May 21st of 21.
Due process is still required for the hearing. If we had a hearing notice issued, then we need to continue to the next meeting.
Okay.
Or at least that's the only thing that'll make
So I'll
anything
make the
that happens
motion that we
subsequent
amend
valid.
to the next cutoff.
there we go.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next cutoff, case number.
We're good on that one.
Case number 16 CEB 0622138, Nicole J. Marjorie
Don't worry.
at 300 Weaverly Circle.
Hi.
And
Will you state your name?
Nicole Marjanovic.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
My husband was Polish and no, he was Russian and his mother was Polish.
Oh.
That's why he had the Polish name. That's why.
Okay, Ms. Matavich, we're going to hear from the inspector, Mr. Stinson.
Sometimes I call Marge and Marge, that's it. Too long.
Since the last hearing, I have been in contact with the property owner. There has been an inspection for the wall. Unfortunately, the inspection did not pass. She has some questions or some issues that she needs to discuss with the building department. There was a little confusion. So I'd like to amend this case to the next cutoff to give her time to get that one cleared up.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Wait a minute.
Aye.
Somebody needs to make a motion. The officer can't make the motion.
Okay, I make a motion.
So make a motion,
Yeah, I just make a motion.
accept the recommendation of the office.
Right. I make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the officer.
The city,
I'm sorry, he can't make the motion. You can't
He's
just.
not making the motion, I'm making the motion.
You're making.
He made it.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
okay.
Yes.
The officer's saying, I recommend this, and you'd say, so moved. That is not a motion.
No.
Yeah.
You have to say, I accept the recommendation of the thing to do a certain thing.
He
That's a
said
legal
he-
motion.
Yeah.
Emotion.
He's doing it after we already started to vote, Mrs. Turner.
No, I did it
We took the old,
before.
wait, let's go back. Let's go ahead to the new motion. Brand new motion.
Will
Now, I
you,
tell you what, you make the motion.
no, would you rescind your motion and we'll make a new motion?
Yes, ma'am, I rescind my motion. And is that the second has to rescind their
Yes.
second?
Yes.
Make your second motion.
Right, yeah.
Am I-
All in favor for
am I wrong?
rescinding?
Aye.
Let's have a full motion.
Am I wrong? I'd like to
No.
have that
You're not
cleared
wrong,
up.
he's not wrong.
Yeah.
No, I'm not wrong.
No, you're right, but constance, that has been a practice
You didn't
exercise
hear it.
here.
Well, that's
We're
nice
gonna
if you have the wrong
better
practice.
on motions.
Okay.
Well, we'll do better on motions.
So did you make it?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion. We take the city's recommendation to amend to the next meeting.
Good.
Good, very good.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. It is amended to the next cutoff, Mrs. Manovich. Case number 17, CEB 0922198. Wrigglesby and Donna J. Stewart of 250 Pelican Avenue.
All right.
Okay.
Say my name.
Would you? Case number 17.
Sorry about that. Can you state your name for the record?
Donna Stewart.
John Ridgely Stewart.
Will you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll now hear from Inspector Mr. Stinson.
Good morning. Since the last hearing, there's been quite a bit of activity on the property. The work has begun on the wall. Actually, they're doing pretty well on the progress. I'd just like to amend this case to the next cutoff to give them time to finish up this work.
Okay. Would you like to say anything?
Yes. Think we're going to need longer than the next cutoff. The wall is going great. But when I came home on Monday, they were installing the drain. And, well, it's supposed to be a wrapped drain, because if it's not wrapped, then dirt can get in the drain. Well, they started installing the drain and then the rock, and then they just put the filter paper over top of it. They didn't wrap the pipe. So I'm at an impasse with the builder right now because he just kind of walked off the job and got mad at me. And I showed him in the contract where it says wrapped drain. So I have pictures. I know there's nothing y'all can probably do about that, but if you have any recommendations from me, who I can kind of call as a higher authority.
Can't do that.
No, we can't.
Right.
do
I didn't
Make
that.
recommendations.
Well, anyway, I don't think it's going to get resolved that quickly.
What is the city's position on 2 months?
City has no problem with that.
Yes, no problem with 2 months.
Okay, so I make a recommendation to take the city's recommendation, but make the cutoff for February, which would be 2/1/23.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Stewart, you have until February.
Merry Christmas.
Who's next? Who's next? Bella.
Okay. Okay. Okay, next case number 18, CEB 0822191, Stephen M. Weaver and Darnella L. Weaver at 1157 Bel Air Drive. Mr. Stinson.
Good morning. Since the last hearing, I have.
Wait, hold on.
Swear him in.
State your name, sir, for the record.
Stephen M. Weaver, Sr.
And do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I certainly do.
Thank you.
Mr. Stinson, I'm sorry.
Good morning. Since the last hearing, I have been in contact with the property owner. The work has been moving slow, but it is moving. The stairs were poured Monday, I believe. He just informed me this morning that they are working on the wall. So I would like to go ahead and amend this to the next cutoff to be able to go out to confirm the work.
Okay. Would you like to say anything, Mr. Stevens?
Since I put some effort and expense into being ready for today's meeting, I'd like to present my information. And I don't know
Give it to the clerk. Just give it to the secretary.
the method that.
I'll give it to him.
And there's only 7, so I have one for the attorney and one for you guys.
It's all right. They're making a recommendation to give you another month.
I'd still like to present my circumstance for just a moment. I did take off work and put this all together and pay a architect to review the circumstances.
You may want to pull the mic up a little.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Although I do not know the legal terminology is that Mr. Rothstein tried to pretend, I am familiar with the fact that I'm responsible for addressing the specific items that are listed within the complaint. The parking in the yard, the damaged stairs, the unpainted surfaces, and the missing door, and the broken window. And over Thanksgiving, my kids and I got the stairs ready and saved up the money and got the stairs poured. I got the permit closed yesterday. A picture of the completed stairs and the closed permit are both within the document. The parking in yard, awkward circumstance. I've got a permit for a driveway and a carport, and Mr. Stenson has helped me figure out where it is legal to park now, and so that's no longer an issue. The missing door, there's a photograph. It's been replaced. The broken window has been replaced, and per a state certified architect that I hired to help me with this report, I have addressed the 5 items that were brought to me, and I am happy to continue. So my contention is that I'm in compliance. I've addressed the
You're
5.
saying you're in compliance now, that's your intention?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I contend I'm in compliance. I have photographic records. It directly corresponds with the only 5 items specifically listed within the project. And I'm exhausted from this process, from the physical part and the uncertainty. We've set aside vacations and other expenses and Christmas shopping. And I just really feel that it would be appropriate if I could put this behind me today.
Okay, he has to
Yes,
come out
but
and look
he
at it,
has-
so that's why he's recommending to amend it till next month, so he can come out there, and you won't have to come back next time.
Well, with that understanding, there's been, and I've heard other folks talking about this. This is, I don't know what a charging document is, but I have done the items that are listed within here. If, because of Hurricane Ian damage or otherwise, there's some additional things that the city would like me to do, that would be under a new case, and this is not a pass just to continue to pile on this specific complaint. So if there's other items that come to Mr. Stenson's attention, I would expect that they would be handled separately. And once confirmed that these 5 items that are here are done and that the permit's closed, I request that they're brought into compliance. And if you want to start the process over, I'll jump through a new set of hoops, but I
No,
got to put these behind.
Once he comes out and sees you're in compliance, you won't have to come back to see us, but he has to go out and see himself.
And my concern remains that they
Madam Chair.
they parlay into more things.
Madam Chair,
Come out.
if there are any new violations that the inspector sees, once he does the reinspection, he will open a new case and inform the
Very
respondent.
That's
I just
what
wanted to explain my situation.
Okay.
I'd like to
Thank
make a
you.
motion that we accept Mr. Stenson's amendment to next month's cutoff, for him to come into compliance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And that rule of 6 is a workaround. He could have they could have let him know who did the violation complaint on one of the other 6 instead of saying rule of 6. That's one item.
Mr. Weaver, I want to congratulate you
Okay.
on
We're going to vary
wonderful
again
presentation.
a little here.
And
I just wish it
Oh.
could have been
Everybody
done 3
could do
days
this.
sooner so Mr. Stenson could have seen it and I could have been done today perhaps.
if we could get to that
Thank you so much.
level with everybody, it would be great.
We're now going to move to page 14, case number 40, CEB 1022240, James Cortazar. Mr. Batiste, Mr. Butler, sorry.
What case are we on?
We're doing
Page
40 right
14,
now.
page 40.
Page 14, page 40.
Ready?
Okay.
Good morning. As it pertains to 1041 Berkshire Road, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on April 28th, 2022, where it was determined there were several violations identified: parking, house numbers, outdoor storage. A first notice was received on May 12th, 2022. On May 22, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was December the 5th, 2022. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the actual tenant regarding the violations. However, 2 out of the 3 violations still remain. Staff requests finding them non-compliance, compliance next cutoff.
Okay. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a,
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation to move to the next cutoff
Find non-compliance.
and find them in noncompliance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's in motion. Case number 41, 1122245, Yana Vera Lorenzo at 1301 3rd Street.
As pertains to 1301 3rd Street, this was a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on May 1st, 2022, where it was determined a garage was installed without a permit. A first notice received on September 8th, 2022. On September 18th, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. Last date of reinspection was December the 5th, 2022. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had several contacts with the property owner, and as of today, they do have a permit. We're just waiting on it to be finalized. Staff requests finding them non-compliance, compliance next cutoff.
Any questions?
Make a motion to accept the city's recommendation of compliance by next cutoff.
Second.
Was that compliance or non-compliance?
It's in non-compliance,
Right.
but for compliance by next cutoff.
I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
She second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number 42, CEB 1122246, LaKayla Apollon.
She's outside.
1241 Cadillac Drive.
How you guys doing?
Okay. And you are?
I'm the other owner, Cheyenne the Knighton.
Okay.
What's your name again?
Cheyenne the Knighton.
Cheyenne?
Yes, ma'am. CHYANA. Last name Knighton, KNIGHTEN.
Okay, Mr. Butler.
What? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ms.
excuse
Knighton, will you
me,
raise your
please.
right hand, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
As pertains to 1241 Cadillac, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on April the 20th of 2022, where it was determined there were several violations identified: parking, landscaping, dilapidated roof, dilapidated porch, damaged fencing, junk vehicles, and dirt and grime. The first notice was received on September 8, 2022. On September 28, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was December the 5th, 2022. The result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the owners regarding the violations. However, the violations still remain. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, compliance next cutoff.
Before we move on, I'm sorry, I missed one thing here with Cheyenne. What's the circumstance regarding LaKayla?
She stepped outside.
She's the owner. She's out.
I don't know where she is.
Yes, she is. Come on.
She's not the owner. She's not the owner.
You swear her in and then start from the beginning again, Mr. Butler.
I'm sorry?
Swear her in and then start from the beginning again.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
LaKayla Appling.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Father, go ahead and tell us again.
Okay. As pertains to 1241 Cadillac, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on April the 20th, 2022, where it was determined there were several violations identified: parking, landscaping, damaged roof, dilapidated porch, damaged fencing, junk vehicle, and dirt and grime. A first notice was received on September the 8th, 2022. On September the 28th, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was December the 5th, 2022. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the owner regarding the violations. However, the violations still remain. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, compliance, next cutoff.
Would you like to say anything?
Well, my fiance has just started working at Waste Pro, and we're going to be using income tax money in January to proceed to do all of the things that aren't in compliance.
So for like the vehicles, one of my vehicles was stuck on the line, so I couldn't get it off. So we had to tow it off. The piece that he asked for on the roof to be fixed, I had fixed it, but the last hurricane damaged it again. There's more additional damages from the hurricane. We do not get any assistance from FEMA or anybody. We've been denied by everybody. So all of this stuff that we are doing has to personally come out of my pocket, which I just started this job maybe 4 or 5 months ago to get all of this stuff together. He has been working with us. He has came by. Some things we have gotten done. The lawn definitely needs to be done. Parking on the lawn, we didn't start that. We had roommates that was living there that continued to park on after you guys asked them not to. Benson, that has to be fixed, but what I'm just asking is give us time to get to taxes so I can actually pay for those things that needs to be fixed professionally instead of me personally trying to do it by myself, because I am a woman, and a lot of these things I can't do all by myself and go to work. I work 13-hour shifts a day, and coming home to a yard, it's kind of hard, and it's hot all day, so like I said, I just want time to be able to get into next year with taxes so I can actually pay professional people to just knock all of this stuff out for us.
Is there any question? Now, you are LaKayla.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are the owner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So you said some things were done.
Before when he started in the beginning, a lot of the stuff that he asked for, like the grass to be cut, that stuff was getting done. I don't have a lawnmower anymore. Someone tore it up. The trees were way higher than that. I did cut those down, but this is what it looks like from the 5th, which was the other day. The grass hasn't been cut yet because I don't have a lawnmower. Some of the trees need to be trimmed back. That's fine. I don't have a problem with doing that. I just need to pay for a professional person to do it because me doing it by myself, I can't.
So, question: you removed the junk vehicle?
Yes, the vehicle is no longer on the yard. No,
Okay.
And then we're parking on the grass, correct?
And the dirt and grime.
I want to replace that grass too, like put new grassing back into those spots.
Yeah, we were either thinking that or we were going to apply for a permit to turn that into a driveway.
This has already been damaged.
How about the dirt and grime, as she was asking?
What's that? The trash in the yard?
The dirt and grime,
on
that
the
still
building,
exists. That's just the
painting.
faded paint in different places of the house. As she stated, once they get someone in there, to try to assist them, it should resolve the issue.
Yeah, because
It needs to be painted.
screening, that stuff needs to be put back on there. Some of that stuff got damaged during the hurricane. That back porch damaged from a hurricane. We didn't get help from the hurricane before Eden. So we didn't get any help with that. I personally tried to do some of the stuff by myself and pay some other people, but it wasn't professional jobs, which I want professional jobs done to the house. But at that time, I couldn't afford it. So now that I have a better job or a good job, I can afford to pay for the things that I have to pay for.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion
Okay.
to accept the city's recommendation to find them in non-compliance and to the next cutoff, I think it was?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because that'll give us a chance to revisit. So That's the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You've been found in non-compliance, and you have until next cutoff, which would be the January 12th date to come into compliance. But stay in touch with Mr. Butler.
Okay.
Let him know. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Butler has something to say.
Case number
Wait,
43.
I'm sorry.
Mr.
Oh,
Butler.
Before closing, would you share with them, as long as you guys are making progress and keeping things up, then we will consider.
okay. You understand what he's saying? Start doing some things like power washing the house or whatever to show that you're doing some things, okay? Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Butler. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you. Merry Christmas,
Happy New
everyone.
Year.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. I wasn't looking. Okay. Case number 43. CEB 1122260 Stella Marble Orocho at 119 Mason Park Drive.
Good morning. My name is Maribel Salarocho, the owner on the property of 119 Mason Park Drive.
Thank you. Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
As pertains to 119 Mason Park, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on August the 3rd, 2022, where it was determined there were several violations identified. A roof with no permit, outdoor storage, and landscaping. A first notice was received on September the 21st, 2022. On October the 1st, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was December the 5th, 2022. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the owner, and work is in progress. Also, I would like to note for the court today that we did an extensive research on the roof, and she's good as it pertains to the roof.
Okay.
But the other
So there was a
violations,
permit for the roof?
she doesn't need it.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But the other violations still remain, and she's working at this time. So staff requests find them non-compliance, compliance, next cutoff.
So the roof is on, outdoor storage.
As you see, she's working on that for.
Okay.
If I may say something. When I bought the property, and I have pictures here of the before, you can see the roof has been metal all along. So if you go on Zillow and check on the dimensions and everything for the house, it states that it's been metal. What happened with this is that I rented with AAA a dumpster because I was remodeling the house. And I owe them money, and I told them to give me 2 weeks. Well, they dumped everything that was on the dumpster I rented, and out of spite, they brought another dumpster with shingles, and they dumped it on my driveway. I have papers here. I called the cops, and I have a report for this, which I'm going to proceed with this. That's why I had all that rubble there. Due to me not working right now, that's why it has taken so long. But, it's just a little mountain of things after I call a company and they remove everything. So my neighbor is helping me with this. So I would say by today, that little bit of rubble is gone. And then we have this resolved. And I even mowed the lawn for the first time in my life yesterday. So I'm trying to maintain. Even the painting on the outside is not bad, but I even bought paint. I always take pride on my properties. So, I was baffled when they say I need a permit for the roof. I said I haven't done any roof work. So, I have more pictures here if you need to see them.
Well, the roof is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What you're saying, okay. And your recommendation was?
Find them non-compliance, compliance, next cutoff.
I'll make a motion to take the city's recommendation, find him in non-compliance, and then when he comes back out, after you get that rubble picked up and all, then he can put you in compliance.
Okay.
That works for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Usher.
Have a beautiful day. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Case number 44, CEB 1122262, Christy Anna Nahum at 934 Derbyshire Road.
As pertains to 934 Derbyshire Road, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on April 27, 2022, where it was determined there were several violations identified: outdoor storage, land, and landscaping. A first notice was received on September the 21st, 2022. On October the 11th, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was December the 5th, 2022. The result of my reinspection was non-compliant. I've had no contact with the owners regarding the violations. However, the violations still remain. Staff requests finding of non-compliance compliance next cutoff.
It still looks like that today.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it certified mail or posted?
I'm sorry, sir.
Was it
I
posted?
posted it as well. That's Fred Sanford at his best right there.
But
It is a nuisance, it's a nuisance, and it is a blight in the neighborhood.
there was no certified, no mail sent to them.
It did, but it didn't come back to us, so I posted the property.
Oh,
Make a motion to accept your issue of noncompliance, and hopefully they'll come into compliance by next month.
If they don't, you know.
so you're recommending non-compliance?
Right.
Cutoff.
Yeah, by the cutoff, by 1/4.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Second, okay.
Hope you feel better, Roosevelt.
Thank you.
Now, is this
Madam Chair,
14 and 15?
Mr. Harrington's leaving the room.
Mr. Harrington left.
We still have a quorum.
We
Still have a quorum.
We still have four.
No, he said they still have a quorum.
Still have a quorum.
Yeah,
We're gonna go back to the
we
vehicle. We were
We're on 19.
19.
This, no, we're going to 28, page 11.
Page 11.
What is it?
Page 11.
No, you did. That was 44.
Okay. Page 11, please. Thank you. Number 28. Case number 28, CEB 1122254, Munir El Farah
Okay.
at 1101 Cordova Avenue.
This is a complaint-driven case that was opened on April 20th of 2022 for tree debris, damaged fence, and overgrown landscaping. First notice was August 13th of 2022. I have not had any contact with the owner. The property is vacant. I re-inspected the property on 12/6/22, non-compliance. Staff's requesting an order of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
I'll make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation to find this case CEB 112224 in non-compliance and to come into compliance by the next cutoff.
There's second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number 29. CEB 1122249, Charlene Rollins at 612 Lavelle Avenue. Okay, she's here. Miss Rollins, okay, would you sworn in?
Will you state your name for the record?
Charlene Rollins.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, this is a complaint-driven case that I received on March 2nd of 2022. I opened a case for unpermitted accessory structures. I have had contact with the owner. First notice was March 28th of 2022. The property is in non-compliance. Staff is requesting an order of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Harrington has returned to the chambers.
Yes. Would you get Mr. Hero to return? Okay. Would you like to say anything, Ms. Raleigh?
Yes. Since receiving the letter back in March last year, I did everything to come into compliance. They wanted a permit for a carport, which was a gazebo purchased from Big Lots that I was parking under in the back. I have concrete pad. I just bought the house last year. Everything that is in the complaint is all prior to me buying this house. It's my first house, and I can't say that my experience so far has been great. I was ordered to repair, replace, or removed damaged fencing, which I did. I couldn't afford to put a whole new fence up. The fence you're seeing in that photo is now the neighbor just built that fence. But my fence is an older wood fence that had dilapidated areas that I agree. And then there was a whole section of my side yard that the prior owners, I guess, used to just pull fence panels and burn them in the backyard. So there was just partial, the fence posts were still up there, but it was still remaining a damaged older section in the back, and then the section up front. I repaired everything up front and repainted it. The back section, we tore out the dilapidated part, and we put up 2 new panels. And then I was told by Sarah that I'm in violation for putting up the 2 new panels because they're blocking the easement. And I never even knew of an easement when I purchased this house. I feel like it should have been disclosed to me. It never was. I just last night went through all my paperwork from when I bought the house. There's nothing about a 25-foot easement in my backyard.
Okay, Ms. Kurt, you're saying the fence, the shed, and the carport.
Right. So, I mean, there's no way of me knowing if, the violations were there before she bought the house. We have to, if it's a violation, it's a violation. So, there is no permit for the shed. There's that accessory structure, which I refer to as a carport because it's got a car underneath it. It may be a gazebo, technically, I'm not sure, but there's no permit for that. It is a permanent structure. Miss Rollins even told me that it is a permanent. And then there was a dilapidated fence, and she did paint
and repair.
Okay. And but then on the other side of the house, there's a vinyl fencing gate that's no permit. And then that right there, that is the neighbor's fence, the white vinyl fence. And behind it is the easement. And you can see the shed is actually like right on the easement. But see that new fencing, the wood fencing, that was just recently put up in the easement. So there's no permit for it, and it's in the easement. So I let her know that. So it's still in non-compliance.
What kind of easement? Utility easement?
It is a utility easement. So I'm just asking for, compliance by the next cutoff. And I'd be happy to go out and, if she needs me to go over everything at the property, I'd be more than happy to do so.
I've asked her to do this already. She keeps going through the neighbor's yard to take pictures of my yard. I don't know why she can't come talk to me.
Just invite me.
Compliant.
Just go ahead and invite me. I've given you my phone number and you have my email.
Yes, and I've called you several times and we've spoke, and you've never come to the house.
Please invite me. I'd be more than happy to.
If I may, I have a question. the fence, you say it's the neighbor's fence, but it's on an easement, right?
The white vinyl
That
fence.
one,
The
yeah,
wood fence. See the wood behind the white?
I
right.
have a video.
Oh,
Could I
okay, yeah, I
please show?
see, yeah, I see it now, okay.
It's hard to understand what you're seeing here. I would like it to, if you could see it from my backyard and my point of view.
Yeah, well, she said invite her, she'll come out.
Right, anytime, just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my issue. The fence lines go all the way back to a metal fence that is the dividing. I have 2 surveys, and I would like to show if I could.
I know, but we can't handle that. You could get with her on that,
Okay, but-
or a surveyor. We can't.
Okay, well, what I'm trying to explain is the 2 fence panels that I put up in the backyard were already, the fence line ran all the way down the yard. Now, when this neighbor just put up the new fence, she put it up short of the easement.
But
So
with
it
the
leaves
survey.
a huge gap in my backyard on that side, and I don't feel it's safe. There's been homeless people back in these easements, and now that she put a fence up there, it's just going to become overgrown.
But Ms. Rollins, we can't handle that here. We are.
Yeah, you're in the
we
wrong
have to
venue.
deal with
If
just
you,
here.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. If you
Okay.
believe you need a variance, there is a board that you can go to
Yeah.
or you need to talk to zoning and they can make a zoning decision. I don't know if you'd be able to get a variance for this, what you're explaining, but that's something you could check into. The determinations for whether or not you're in compliance or not, it's really, it starts with the inspector going out, saying what you've done and telling you what you need to do. And then if y'all are in dispute about those issues, then when you come back next time, that'd be a good time to show the nature of the dispute and how you believe you're correct. And the staff will be happy to, I'm sure, respond on why
Well,
they feel different.
don't I have a right to, she's saying I'm in non-compliance, and everything I've done has been in compliance.
So you're saying right now,
I just want to feel like my yard is protected.
May I just, so what you're saying now is that when she cited you, you were in compliance? Or
When
you
she cited
got
me?
into compliance within 30 days from that date?
Okay, as soon as I got cited or whatever, and then I went to permitting, I was told I had 6 months.
Well, you don't.
Because we put a permit under one whole umbrella for me to do the work and get it completed within 6 months.
Yeah, you don't.
I got rid of the gazebo before the hurricane. It's gone, went to the curb. We were told my boyfriend was parking in the backyard. We were told he needed to be on a solid surface. This was by permitting. So we put in pavers for him to park on. When I told her we put pavers for him to park on, she said, "Oh, so you created a parking space? Do you have a permit for that?" Which is what we were told to do, but now she's asking, do we have a permit for that? Which is the whole thing. This is my first time owning a home. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not.
I understand, and so
The
that's not.
shed was already there when I bought the house, so I just feel like I'm a criminal
Yeah,
for
Madam
buying
Chair,
a house.
as well as if I can just, not trying to make you criminal or anything else. I understand what you're saying is that you feel that you did a lot of stuff. I'm just saying that based on the code, you weren't in compliance at the time of what you were cited, but that's not, that's just stage one. Stage one is we find you in non-compliance, and then we give you reasonable time to comply, which is what they're doing now. And if y'all are trying to get an understanding of what that is, it's the time when you meet with the inspector. The inspector inspects, the inspector reports back to the board. And so we'll come back. We're recommending, city, and I'm speaking for the city, we're recommending that that they make a finding of non-compliance just based on the initial notification and the things that had to be done and when they were done. And then we go from there to coming back next month. Ideally, you would have already have spoken and resolved, I could tell it's a little tension, resolve whatever dispute you maybe have with the inspector in terms of her coming out and you're being able to meet and so forth. And then we'll bring that before the board, and the board makes a decision. If you need more time because you're diligently working at it and it's not done, then the board generally will grant you that time. If you've done nothing because you threw up your hands and said, "Oh, I don't understand," then the board may do differently. So what you want to do is do everything you can to work on it, and but they generally will give you, and we generally ask for this is routine for the first initial return to be within the next cutoff, just so that we can know that you diligently want to do something about it, as opposed to some people really don't. And it sounds like you do, so
I've done
that's our
everything
recommendation.
except the back, those 2 panels I added, just
Get
to
with the
keep my yard
inspector.
secure. That's all.
And see the things, I know, but the things you do that's not part of code, just because you feel that they're necessary, there are ways
There
you
was
can do
always a
that.
fence there, though.
Talk with them.
Okay. So, but now
I'm
you're
ready
gonna
to
find
make
me
a
in
motion.
non-compliance. I'm not non-compliant.
Okay, well, we're in dispute with that, and that's a finding the board has to make.
And I'm going to make a motion, if I may. I motion that we find the KCEB 1122-252 in non-compliance.
No,
249.
249.
Oh, 249, I'm sorry. CEB, I motion that we find the case CEB 1122-249 in non-compliance and to be reviewed at our next meeting.
Okay. Is there a second?
Can I just ask a question?
Is there a second? There's a motion on the floor.
I have a question also, so I don't,
I guess it dies for a second.
On this shed, if the shed was there before she purchased the home, how did she fix that?
May I speak to that?
Sure.
If you purchase a home with violations, you purchase a home with violations. Whether the violations on the property or the violations came with the property. And so now you as owner, you're left with that responsibility. The diligence that you do at the time of purchase is how you overcome and deal with those things when you're making the purchase. If you believe you have a claim against a seller for fraud or whatever else, that's a separate issue outside of the code. But the code issue itself is a code issue you bought into.
Okay, and the thing with the fence, if the fence was there, but 2 panels were missing and she just replaced those 2 panels.
Once again, those are things that she'll have to resolve with the inspector, but a lot of times the issue, if the inspector's concluded that a permit is required or not required or whatever it is, if those are disputed issues, I'm sure the inspector's sure in the code where it's required or in the law, and she can also be able to inquire with the permits and licensing on a permit issue if they have a question or dispute. No, ultimately, someone will ask me if they continue with a dispute. So, but those are the real things that arise. I think maybe your motion said to come back for a review. We really hoping that we can be in compliance by next cutoff, and so and our general order or motion would be one where we're asking for compliance by the next cutoff. And of course, we'll be reviewing it. We always do, based on the progress being made, and hopefully it's resolved. But if it's not, our position will be a good faith review to be reported to the board, and y'all be able to consider whether or not y'all will give additional time.
Okay, so here we go again. In the case of CEB 1122-249, my motion is to agree with the city and find this case in non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ms. Rollins, you have been found in non-compliance and you have until the next cutoff. Please stay in touch with your inspector or go downstairs and they can give you information on a lot of questions you had. Okay.
And one thing that they may not give you exactly,
I tried.
ma'am, if I can just say one more thing to you that I think would be helpful. Sometimes, and we've discussed this among the board as well, a little bit of area that gets confusing is when you do get a permit, there's a time period that's granted for permits. Generally, it's 6 months. But when you're before a board that has jurisdiction, then whatever time period that the staff is giving you is really a time period. So even though the permit allows 6 months, if they gave you 30 days to comply, then you're not in compliance. Even though you still have time on your permit, you're not in compliance. So those are two different consideration.
I'm just, I don't understand a lot. I'm
And
bad memory
understand that.
issues and anyway, I do just have one other question because I was told downstairs to get another survey about the shed because they're saying it runs across that boundary, which when I bought the house last year, it shows the shed on the survey and it shows the boundary line feet away from it. I just got a new survey a month ago to come into compliance, which they asked me to do downstairs. I got a new survey, and it shows the boundary line running right through the shed now. So did my property shrink? And it's the same survey company that did the last 3 surveys on this home.
Yeah, take your survey down to permits and licensing.
Okay. So now I know they're going to tell me I have to move the shed, and I don't have money for any of this. I
Well,
work
let's
3
hope
jobs.
for better. So just let them see your circumstance, and your circumstance be what it is. But let's hope for the better.
And Inspector Kirk will work with you.
And, work with your inspector, please. And thank you. Now we have case number 19, CEB 0622131. Adam S. Cavett at 366 Brookline Avenue.
Which number? I'm sorry.
Case number 19.
Will you state your name for the record, sir?
Adam Kuvek.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Mark Jones for Ken Yates. The inspector, Yates, has stated that he has not had any recent contact with the owner, but they have been continuing making progress. He is asking to amend to the January cutoff, I'm sorry.
Okay. Mr. Cavett, would you like to say anything?
I appreciate that recommendation. I'm going to need much more time than that. I have a letter here from the Small Business Administration approving my disaster application for a disaster loan. The letter's dated October 28th. So the new roof that you see there on that building was the start of the work. The cladding damage that started this whole case there on the right, the west side of the house, was a result of a roof problem, which led to a much greater problem. In removing the cladding, it revealed extensive damage underneath it. Now, I do want to say that the 2 hurricanes since then have compounded that problem. Window damage, particularly you see now the electrical pole is no longer attached to the building. It's now offset. So there's 2 permits on the house. Actually, there's 3. The roof permit is complete, done, and final. There's a brand new roof on it. There is my permit to replace the cladding, but I had applied for a permit to repair 3 sides. The front side was now significantly damaged by both hurricanes, and the windows were significantly damaged by both hurricanes. So I've bought new windows, Hurricane, these are non-impact. I'm going with impact windows to replace all the windows and doors. And I have a letter from it's an email from the vendor for the windows with the delivery date estimating at June 1st of 2023. So I won't be able to complete the work until at least then. I really don't have the ability to keep coming back to these meetings. I had to take the day off just to get here. I wanted to come. Last time I had my attorney from Cobb Cole represent me, and he did a pretty good job explaining to you that there was extensive damage and it was a result of other compounding circumstances, but now it's gotten even worse. The windows won't be coming until June. I have an estimate here that I'm still negotiating for all the remaining repair work, the framing, the resheathing, the reinsulation, and then the reinstallation of that power provision pole that the hurricane tore off the building. So we've got a little bit more work to do. We have the same goal. I don't want my house in this condition, and I'm working to get it fixed. The roof was the start of it, but now there's the windows were $25,000, and about $60,000 worth of reframing and recladding of the house, but it won't be done before June. So if we could just extend that, cutoff date to July. I should be done by then, and I'd be happy to close out the issue with you then.
I don't think we can go that far out. We can give you probably a couple months out, and then you can keep in touch with Kevin or Mr. Jones, and that way you don't have to come back as long as you stay in touch with them, and they can
continue the work.
I don't have a problem with that, but I tried to reach Mr. Yates. I've never had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Jones, but Kevin Yates does not respond.
Did you email him too?
I called him. No, I didn't email him. I don't think I have his email address necessarily, but I called him. He does not return calls. But that's fine. I'm just saying that the project is not going to be done until July. We have the same goal. I would be happy to appear by Zoom. I was going to do that, but I didn't get the approval to do that until yesterday. So I had to take the time off to come see you and appear, which I wanted to do myself anyway. I just wanted to let you know that we have the same goal and improve that.
Couple of things. We wouldn't have any objection to you appearing by Zoom at all. I don't.
No.
I mean, no. That's
That's
more
good.
your preference
That's fine.
in terms of
That's
you
fine.
feel the necessity to be physically here.
Maybe if we
Right
just
now.
extend it as far as we're capable to have a Zoom meeting, and then you'll have an update on progress.
Yeah, there's a recommendation.
Yes, if I could, I do not have a problem with us amending the compliance date to the June cutoff with a progress report scheduled for the March meeting. That can be handled through Zoom to let us know, where you are at, and we can go from there.
It's fine.
Okay, well, with
she
that being
said
said,
2
do you want to
months,
make the
though.
compliance? Well, okay, I got you. Yeah, let's go that way.
Can't he just make the progress report to you?
Yes, he could make the progress report to me, but it needs to be scheduled before the board. I would say in March. So we can tell you where.
A motion that we take the city's recommendation and find you in non-compliance with compliance,
This actually, this is return.
for just to return to the board either by Zoom.
Yeah, just clarification. This is up for imposition of a fine, so different motion.
Right.
Right, so motion for amending to
Amend
the March cutoff
to the March cutoff to give us an update.
at the March meeting.
Yeah, and that way we can then, at that time, if we need to amend it to June, and we'll also hopefully have a better idea of the progress you're making.
June is the delivery date, so
Yeah.
completion by July. But
Yeah.
yes, those
But that may
dates
also
work. I
change.
mean, March is actually a good day
Yeah.
to find some time to meet again.
So much going on in the world, who knows what they'll tell you in another month, maybe something different.
Well, I was actually kind of shocked at the June date. I thought it was going to be a lot sooner than that, but thank you, Mr. Jones.
Okay, was there a
yeah.
second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. You have until March that you have to give a report out of the Zoom, but stay in touch
Yeah.
with Mr. Jones, please.
Thank you, members of the board. Thank you.
Okay. Case number 20, CEB 05222105, South Wild Olive LLC, Kev Roberto Ferrer.
Since last hearing, they have passed multiple inspections and are continuing to work under their permit. We'd like to amend this to the next hearing. Oh, okay, great.
I didn't even know she was. So she's Zoom?
Yes.
She's Zoom.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you state your name for the record?
Maria Barrios.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
In your relationship?
I'm the owner with my husband, Huberto Barrios.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here for Mr. Jones.
Did you hear the recommendation, ma'am? Did you hear the recommendation?
Did you hear the recommendation from Mr. Jones?
No, I didn't.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Jones.
Since the last hearing, you have passed multiple inspections and are continuing to work under the permit. We'd like to amend to the January cutoff for compliance.
What date in January is the cutoff, please?
1/4.
January 4th.
1/4, yeah.
If I mean, if you grant me another about 30 days, I think it'd be best. I've spoken with the DC, and he's told me that he needs about 30 days to finish.
Seriously, for a February cutoff.
So we would be fine with the February cutoff.
Good.
The February
Good motion.
Thank you.
Did you hear, Ms. Burr, is set to February cutoff?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay.
I would like to make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation in the case of CEB 05-22105 to review at the next cutoff.
Amended to the February
To
cutoff.
amend
To the next cutoff for
to
compliance.
the
February
next
cutoff.
cutoff in February.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the clarification is we're amending the compliance date to
Compliance date,
February
right.
cutoff.
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Burrard, it has been moved that you have a compliance date of February 2023.
Great. Thank you. Very-
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Case number 21 CEB 0822169, Diane R. Alexandra at 3 Clareton Court, Zoom. Okay.
Will you state your name for the record?
My name is Trey Alexander. I'm Miss Diane Alexander's son.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, since last hearing, they have continued to work under their permit and were granted an extension due to the progress that they had made by the permit department. I would like to amend this to the January hearing to allow them to finish January cutoff.
Mr. Alexander, did you hear?
I did, yes, ma'am. He said he requested for January. Just to add to that, our permit is up on the 29th. I have final inspections being scheduled with Universal Engineering that should take place prior to that with any luck. So hopefully we should be finished by the end of the year.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay, is there a motion?
Go.
I'd like to make the motion to,
Accept the.
accept the city's recommendation to amend to the cutoff in January to come into compliance.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Alexander, thank you, and you have until the January compliance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Case number 22 CEB 0922200. Maryland Fields and John Dunbar at 551 Spruce Street.
Since last hearing, my inspector has had no contact with the owner, and there's been no progress. This is the picture of the residence. Staff is requesting a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $15,000.
How much you say the fine was? I'm sorry.
$100 a day with a cap of 15.
6/4/20. And that starts today, okay?
I'd like to make a motion that we take the city's recommendation for a fine of $100 a day to cap at 15,000, or if they come into compliance.
Second.
Is it 15 or 10? Okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Case number 23, CEB 0922262226. Vanna Sherry's at 3000 Sanford Avenue.
Will you state your name for the record?
My name is Jimmy Sherris. I'm Vanna's son.
You're an attorney, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But he's not are you here in that capacity, or you're here as the owner?
No, I mean, I grew up in the house, so I'm here under the capacity as the owner.
Okay. Well, go ahead and be sworn.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Since last hearing, my inspector has had contact with the owner, who has expressed a significant hardship. This is a house that in January was completely gutted by fire. There have been no plans filed yet with the city. We're asking for a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
Mr. Chair, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I had a few conversations with Inspector Yates. We're new to this process. When he originally put a notice on the house, we really didn't even know who was, if you will, managing this stage of what was going on, because originally there was a demolition order. And we thought that there was going to be a hearing so that it could be contested, because we were talking to a developer about renovating the house, gutting it to just the concrete. As you can see, there's you don't have any pictures of the backyard. There's a lot of concrete on this property, so it's very and the stucco that's on the facade. Well, we've had architects come out there with the contractor that has offered to go ahead and, either do a renovation or a complete rebuild, a complete demolition and rebuild. We've talked about the options. I've actually reached out to Inspector Yates either earlier this week or at the end of last week about what would be considered compliance. Originally, he said complete demolition equals compliance. I wanted to know about partial demolition and how that would work, because we're still trying to figure out whether or not to, maintain, some of the features that are in the backyard. It has been tough. I mean, this was a mortifying event. I'm sure you all remember it, from that storm on November 5th of last year. But there's other things going on here. I mean, the inspector came out originally, the fire inspector, but it didn't catch fire from any internal reason. It had to do with, an external situation. And there's I can't talk to it publicly right now because we're talking right now in a liability situation that is ongoing and it is unresolved. So I know Inspector Yates made a recommendation, to extend, I'm not sure how you guys call it, I don't do this type of law, so I have no idea other than what I've learned from this meeting today. So if I get the terminology wrong, forgive me. I know he was making a recommendation to January. What I don't know is, I don't know if that's going to put in jeopardy any claims that we have that are ongoing with them saying, oh, wow, the house is gone now, so sorry. You know what I mean? Because we also had an issue with insurance coverage. And at the end of the day, this did not qualify as a FEMA situation because it was, there were several houses affected by what happened electrically that night. All the houses that were, behind us, next to us. It wasn't just our house, except our house is what caught the brunt of it. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I wasn't there at the time to try to do something myself to stop the fire that started on the roof itself. So what we've had plans drawn up. We have them. I was going to email them to Inspector Yates. I didn't know if it was appropriate. I don't know if we're going to go with those plans. But, I talked to the contractor and said, you know what, I think maybe we should just do a demolition and see where it goes from there. Money is an issue. The day before this happened, there were no issues. This house was built 1962, 63, right? So, everything went wrong that day. So it's been tough trying to salvage things, taking up our time. We've been working. I've had, friends, colleagues helping out, going to the property. I had inquired about putting a pseudo construction fence around the property. I had asked what the definition of compliance was, and based on what I heard today, having a meter, and having electrical, and making sure that the premises is considered inhabitable. In this case, everything's boarded up. I know it's not habitable, but everything's been boarded up. I mean, all the boards you see are what we put up for hurricane windows. No one ever dreamed that this would happen, and we had 2 hurricanes come through in the last couple months too. The garage is boarded up. The backyard is fenced. Everything is fine. When you're looking at it from 10 foot down, you wouldn't even know that anything happened to the house until you see the soffit up, and then you go inside and you see,
I'm aware, Mr. Sheriff, but let just one moment. Mr. Jackson. I'm trying to get Mr. Jackson. Okay, Mr. Jackson, what were you saying something to?
Yeah, and if we need to amend this to the January cutoff to give them more time to come up with a decision, we're fine with that. It's just the case has been, as he stated, the property's been like this for a year.
Yeah.
With yellow tape around it, and it's a bit of an eyesore for the neighborhood.
My question is, on our paperwork, it says unsafe building.
Well, it was secured. That's what he was showing. And if you look at some of the pictures, I think there's another picture that shows the front of the, it's unsafe for living conditions, so it is vacant. They have secured the building completely. So it is not something where we're having any problems. As you can see, the whole garage area is all boarded up. And the perimeter walls, any of the openings, they do have, as you saw, plywood over them. What he was stating was
they're in non-compliance and have not given you a plan to come into compliance.
we do not have any. There's been no plan submitted to the building department for a remodel. There's been no request or plan submitted for demo of the building. So we're just kind of in limbo at the moment.
Right. So that's the question.
So yours.
Compliance, and if they come in with the next meeting with a plan or something, we can consider it.
They've already been found.
Well, this is
It's a fine issue.
It's a fine issue.
So I think we should find them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in agreement because mostly that I got of what the individual said was that they're still not decided what they want to do with it. That was the end that I heard. And so the case has been open for a while, so we continue to not to know what we're going to do or not do. So do we want to provide...
If I may interject.
No, please, just wait till I finish, sir. So to continue without any fine, then is, the opening is there to continue the thing of, we don't know what to do. So we need to help them to get to know what to do.
So I'd have to change my recommendation.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
I just want to speak to one point, and only because of our circumstance today.
Yes.
Our circumstance today is that we don't have Mr. Yates here. I hear this respondent suggesting that it was representing to him that he may have till January. To be quite honest with you, I thought that may have been Mr. Yates' position at least a month ago. I don't know if it would have been his position today. And I don't think what the inspector said was what he intended in terms of how it came out. We're not asking January for him to decide. We're asking January for him to remedy. So we would be looking for to amend to the next cutoff for compliance. Now, I understand that from there may be some issues from an attorney perspective that may make him feel like he can't or shouldn't. And those are things he'll have to work out, within himself and with the people who he have to negotiate with. But from our perspective, the city's perspective, what we'd like to do is, we think, just so that we're clear in terms of our information and facts, that we allow him the January date to come into compliance. That would be my recommendation, the recommendation of the city.
Right, but the original recommendation was with a fine. Right?
Get a second, so.
Yeah.
There's been no motion on the floor.
Well, there's no
motion.
There's no motion on the floor. I thought you were gonna make a motion.
I did make a motion, and there was no second, so there's no technical.
What was your motion? I didn't hear your motion.
You make it again, Neil.
I originally made a motion.
Okay.
Before this explanation.
Right.
That we agreed with this.
Right.
It had taken too long, and that we would have hired her to come next time with a plan, or we would find her.
Okay.
That's
I second that motion.
So that's your motion, which you stated again, so she can hear it, and he can too, please.
They need to come to the board at the next cutoff with a plan, or we will consider finding them. So this is carried over with no fine. The next board meeting, they will present us their plan, or we will discuss proceeding with a plan.
Oh, okay.
Which translates into amend to the next cutoff.
Amend to the next cutoff, yeah.
Yeah.
And I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I believe you heard that, Mr. Sherry. You heard the motion.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so very much. Okay, case number 24. I know, but they said read it.
Need a break, you all right? Need a break, you okay?
No, okay.
Good, okay.
Oh, yeah, we just, did you ask
Just
for a
wanted to
break?
know, no, she wanted one, I don't,
I'd like a break. Just for 5 minutes, if I can.
Are we talking about break?
10 minutes, because you know you.
10 minutes.
Okay, at this time, we'll take a 10-minute break. How many? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's get these people out of here that are here.
Oh, you want to do that before?
Yeah.
We do that, yeah.
Can we do that? Let's,
After break, okay.
let's do them and break after. They've been sitting here a long time.
Okay.
Have these four people first.
Fine.
I thought you needed a break. It's not easy, not easy on you.
I know, my head is.
Right, we're gonna do them?
24 is in
My
compliance.
A lot of
head.
cases today.
My head. Okay, our next case is, as I said, case number 24, 092222, is in compliance as of 11/1/22. Also, case number 25 is in compliance as of 11/1/22. Case number 26, CEB 10-22235.
Before
And
we
wait,
do 26, can we just, or we're going to go?
yeah, we're gonna go with the ones
Yeah,
here,
but-
please.
So we can just take a moment. It's 20, we were hoping to take the next the folks that are here.
We're going to take the cases with the people in it.
That are
The
here,
people are here, yeah.
So as soon as we get those,
so they don't have to wait. Okay,
Which one is that?
So who's here? What's your name?
they've given them to them.
Okay.
One zero 22230 W. Hardins Blue.
It's a famous name.
Mr. Bostic.
come on. You 116 Braddock, ma'am? Yeah. Okay, wonderful.
Where's the inspector?
That was case 27. I told you. Yeah. Okay. Miss Ballou, is it?
I'm not. I'm just a resident there. I'm like the caretaker because the guy's in a nursing home.
Be sworn in.
Well, your name, please?
Wendy Milligan.
Wendy Milligan?
Uh-huh.
Can you spell your last name for me, please?
Milligan.
And you said your relation?
Yeah. Caretaker.
Have you been with us before?
No.
Never? Sounds familiar.
Okay.
Are you, if I may inquire, are you here on behalf of the owner?
Yeah, he asked me to come. Mark did. Yeah, on behalf of the owner. No, not the owner. His nephew has power of attorney
Okay.
over the place.
And-
But he's not even set to inherit the property. So he's like going to inherit just part of it. And
So you're here because the nephew said it'd be good to come, or because
Yeah,
said it'd be good to
yeah.
come, or because you
yeah.
thought it'd be good to come?
all of
Okay.
all of them.
My recommendation is, at this time, at least for this proceeding, it probably doesn't matter a whole lot, and without it being in writing, I think it's more a witness than a representative. Yeah.
Witness, yeah.
And
We don't have to
if in the future, if we get to the point where we're talking fines, we probably need something in writing. But,
Yeah, okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Boston.
All right, good morning, Board. Inspector Boston, credentials on file with the city. All right, this case was field generated and opened back on June 16 of 2022 for a dilapidated roof, dirt and grime on exterior of the home, an awning, peeling and fading paint, no premise identification, overgrown landscaping. Landscaping has, improved. The home is now in process of being painted. The first notification was on July 13th of 2022. The property was posted. Compliance was due by August 12th of 2022. Last day of reinspection was December 7th. Result non-compliance. I have had no contact with the owner. I believe he's in a nursing home. So I've been in contact with, I believe it's the owner's nephew. And I've also spoken to Wendy, who lives there, and she's been the one who has started to clean up the property and also started to paint the property. Staff requests finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff. Those pictures right there are the first pictures back in June, but you can see now when she started to paint the house blue, and it has removed a lot of the overgrown vegetation on the property.
Milligan, would you have anything to say?
He just wanted the roof, something with the roof, and the owner, or not the power of attorney person, his nephew, said that he's willing to put a new roof on.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that in the case of CEB 10-22-230 is found in non-compliance and to come into compliance by the next cutoff.
Second.
Oh, no, once you had to face a fine of up to $1,000.
Or
what?
Yeah, do you have the stuff that Luigi uses?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah, but
face a fine of up to $1,000.
yes,
Or face a fine, in addition, or face a fine up to $1,000.
Per day until compliance is achieved.
Per day until compliance.
Per day.
Yeah.
I got my little form out.
Yeah.
You got the form good.
Yeah, I got it. I don't have mine with me.
Okay.
Okay. You still second? Okay. We
Second.
got a motion.
All
and a
in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So I didn't understand that about the 1,000. That
You have up until
Yeah.
next month to come into compliance, or we can lodge a fine next month.
of 1,000.
Up to $1,000.
Up to $1,000 a day.
You got it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair, the next one is the addendum. CEB.
What's the number and page?
It's the extra piece we got.
Oh, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I just got it out of order. The next case would be number 39. Case 39, page 14. So will you state your name, please, sir, for the record?
Strati.
I'm sorry?
Dragoshi Strati.
Okay.
Can you spell that for me, please?
Istrate. First name Dragos.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Stinson, we would like to hear from you.
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the City. Qualifications are on file. This case was a case utilizing the rule of 6. Property owner was cited for unmaintained landscaping, outside storage, dead tree, damaged fencing, peeling paint, damaged garage. He was first notified on 6/29/22. The last inspection of this property was yesterday. The property does remain in non-compliance and should come into compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay. Mr. Dragos, would you like to say anything?
Say it again, please.
Would you like to say anything?
Oh, yeah, we have pictures since this morning. We did, what happened? I'm doing it myself, the yard work. I got hurt my back, so I couldn't do it for a while. So I easily started to do it, and we have pictures to show you that we fix the things. And from this morning, even the front yard, and we fixed the walkway is all fixed, and we're making progress. I have permits. I changed the windows on that house, and was with permits, of course, and we got all that, and we had some paint to finish. I painted all the stucco, but I couldn't get to the trims again. I hurt my back. I'm doing myself, so this is why we delay it. And but now I'm better, and I can do it faster.
Okay. Okay. So, are there any questions from the board? What is your motion?
Well, they got some pictures. Shouldn't we see that pictures?
Mr. Stinson, what was your recommendation?
Non-compliance for next cutoff.
Next cutoff.
I'll make the motion that we accept the city's recommendation for the non-compliance of the property at 823 North Oleander and come in compliance and return to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration up to a fine for $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Excuse me, ma'am. And will you state your name, please,
All
for
in
the record?
favor? Okay. Yeah. Once you didn't. Okay.
You wanted to, you can ask Mr. Stinson, maybe he can see if it's something you need to get with the board about. What was the concern?
She just has some pictures from this morning, but he went by yesterday.
Yeah, and she's welcome to make them part of the record. I don't, regardless of how many pictures you show, I don't know if it would
Well, how are they gonna be in the record?
affect what we got to do next as far as the
On her
board.
phone, so. If you want to print them, put them and give them to the secretary, that's fine. Right, they need to take that outside.
Oh, they're not printed?
Okay.
On a phone. Can't take it
You could,
to print them. Which one's next, Giselle?
Mr. Drago, you have been charged with non-compliance, and you have until next month to come in to
I don't know, it's
comply.
very hard to hear, no speakers, I
Okay,
don't know.
Mr. Stinson, would you explain to him that he have until next month to come into compliance?
That's correct, yes. The only question she was asking could she get until February, the February cutoff. That was her only.
We've already,
Mm-hmm.
we've already.
They voted, okay.
Voted, okay.
Just stay in touch with him.
Yes.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, just make sure to understand, if they work with you and they need the
Madam
time,
Chair.
you probably already explained that to them.
The next case is CEB. It's the addendum page.
Yes.
Thank you so much and happy holidays.
Okay, same to you.
That's page 16,
Yeah, it's the very last page,
okay,
the addendum.
okay. Case number 47, CEB 1112225.
No, ma'am. It's the last page, the very last.
The addendum, did you have a?
I don't,
No, it's 47. It's the last, it's the.
I don't
The last
have.
page.
I got it here, I got it.
That other case was a separate page.
He gave it to me
Are we doing the
separate.
addendum?
The addendum.
We got it.
We got it.
Okay.
See,
No, we're doing the addendum.
case number CEB
That's the separate page.
0922227, Don M. Overstreet at 712 North Halifax Avenue.
No, you're case 47,
Yes, ma'am.
This-
Park management.
Arkman Capital.
This
So
is
it's
the-
case 47, the last one on the page.
I'm going by what?
Yeah,
This-
but
That's the one she
just
wanted.
transpired.
She want 47?
No, she wants
What's
this one
47?
here.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
47, case,
Good morning.
case number 47.
No, the case you just read is the case we should be doing the addendum.
No, he's
We're
from
not?
Arc Capital,
No.
case
never mind.
47.
I'm just what I.
Okay, all right, cool.
Well, I don't have that one.
It's on the last page of your sheet.
It's 47.
You're right.
From Arch Capital.
Yes.
This is the
You're
one
right,
we're
I'm
doing.
wrong.
Okay. Case number 47, CEB 1122255, Arch Capital Management and Investment LLC at 456 Pleasant Street. Okay. Mr. Alderman.
Will you state your name for the
He's been
record?
sworn in.
Moselle Fleming.
Moselle Fleming.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you spell it for me, please?
Mozellfleming.
And your affiliation to?
I work for Alex. I work for Arch Management.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And your name was?
Moselle.
Moselle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Alderman, we'll hear from you.
This case was open for re-roof construction without a permit. First notice was 7/13 of 22. Date provided for compliance was July 23rd, 2022. I have had one phone call from Mr. Moselle. The last reinspection was 11/29/22 and requesting compliance due January cutoff. But Mr. Moselle does have something to say about it.
Yes, ma'am. I got a permit for the roof, and now I got to get the permit for the electrical, like he told me on the permit for the plumbing. But I don't own the house. I work for the guy that owns the house, and sometimes he does stuff that I don't understand. But when he calls me, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna try to get the next 2 permits in the next couple of weeks. But I don't know if we can finish by January. But we go. The roof, I can get an inspection on the roof probably in 2 weeks, but because it doesn't take but a little while.
We have no indication that there's any, at least on my agenda, there's anything to do with plumbing or electric.
Correct.
That's what he told me to do. I was just compliant.
We're strictly talking about the roof.
Yeah,
We're just talking about the roof on this.
Okay.
About the roof.
Well, I got the permit for the roof. We ready to go.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So
When did you get that permit?
Can I hand it to her? Because it was hard finding the contractor, so I don't know exactly what day. I just pay for stuff. He sends me to work.
12/6 of 22.
12/6?
Okay.
So technically, is he in compliance because the permit was
It-
issued on 12/6?
It has not been
No,
finalized.
It's not
Okay.
compliant
Okay.
until they inspect it.
So you're not the owner. You're
No,
just
sir.
doing the work.
Yeah, I'm his property manager. I manage. He has.
But when are they gonna put the roof
a
up?
lot of property.
When did you take
Uh,
over property management?
But that house, whenever he calls me.
No, but this goes back to July, something.
I came last time, was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, because he
2 months ago.
is my boss. So when he has a problem, he does stuff, and then he'll call me and say, Moses, I need you to go fix it. So then I came and I talked to this gentleman, and he told me what I need to
So
do.
you're just representing the
Yes,
roof.
and
that
then he
you-
told me I needed a permit.
Okay.
So I went. It was hard finding a contractor that would take the work after Alex does what he does. So the contractor like, I don't really want to touch this. I don't want to touch this. And I finally found a guy that I could pay to get this. So now I can get the roof done. If I could keep Alex away from the property, it'd be a lot better. But
We're all
he's the boss.
done, and we're done with you on this issue in January.
Hopefully, yes, sir. On the roof,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can have it closed out.
Good.
Okay.
You gonna make a motion?
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation to come into compliance by the cutoff of January 4th for the re-roof construction without a permit.
Oh, please, too.
And if it's not in compliance, be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is reached.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a good happy holiday.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Second and
All in favor? He second.
Aye.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
What else we got? Who else we got?
Yeah.
Any more people left?
No, that's all the people.
Okay, we can take a break then.
I mean, there may be people on Zoom, I don't know.
We have case number 32, CEB
26, I think.
32. We're going to Zoom 32.
Oh, okay, we're doing.
On page 12.
The second chairman is.
I was just trying to go back in order.
Yeah, she is, but she goes
Yeah.
to 32 and 34.
CEB 1022228, PB Lands LP1 GPN Inc.
This is how.
That's at 1236 Bel Air Drive.
Number 32, Mr. Harrington. Sir, will you state your name for the record?
Hi, good morning. It's Fabrizio Lucchese.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And your affiliation?
I'm a principal of the company.
Thank you.
Mark Jones. This case was opened back in September of 2021. It was a complaint-driven case. It was for unpermitted renovation, dilapidated areas of the roof, peeling paint, trash, and debris. They were first noticed on September 17th, 2021, with compliance due October 17th, 2021. The last inspection was November 29th, 2022. We've had contact with the owner, but all the issues are remaining. We're asking for non-compliance with compliance next cutoff.
Would you like to say anything, Mr.? Your name is?
Fabrizio Lucchese. Yes, I would. So this is a major renovation that's planned for this home. Plans for permitting has been submitted a long time ago, and we've been going back and forth with the planning with the city. The last set of requests for information was submitted almost 2 months ago, maybe around 2 months ago. It's all through the general contractor and the engineer that's handling all that. And to date, we still do not have a permit to actually do the work. Unfortunately, the demolition work was kind of done ahead, and it shouldn't have happened. But frankly, it was unsafe to sections of the building that were taken down. But this is a major renovation with an expansion of the house. It's probably in the $350,000 range when all said and done, the actual work. So it's not a lipstick painting or anything like that.
Okay.
So how long have you been owning this property?
I believe the company bought the property, I want to say about a year ago.
A year ago. And have they done other properties and they've done this?
Yes. I mean,
Nothing new to them?
No, nothing new, but this is a major renovation requiring, this is basically a rebuild of the structure. Not, I would say 80% of this building will be brand new.
What I'm getting at is the permitting process, pretty much the same over the years. A company that's in business knows how to get permits and knows what plans they need to submit. You've had a year to do this.
Frankly, a permit for a brand new structure would have been easier. I think part of the issues is that there's some existing structure that's going to stay. Like the questions that we're getting back from building department are things like confirming that the 200 amp service was going to be sufficient, confirmation from the engineer on certain components of the existing roof structure that was going to be maintained. Things like that. I think it's just the scope of the work. And frankly, I haven't been personally involved with the back and forth with the permit office. It's all been through the general contractor and the engineer, of which I was attempting to get some confirmation with prior to this, and I was not able to find out where we are with the permitting process. My understanding is that the very last information that was requested was delivered approximately 2 months ago, I was told, and I just reaffirmed that again this morning, and we have not heard anything back as of yet.
Okay. And Mr. Jones, the recommendation you have?
The recommendation is non-compliance with compliance next cutoff.
Okay.
I'd like to make that motion that in the case of CEB 10-22-228, that they are found in non-compliance, and the case to be returned to our next cutoff with 1,000 to be in compliance by our next cutoff. If not, for a fine to start of $1,000 a day.
Well, not for a fine, that's for consideration of a fine.
With consideration of a
Consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
If I can just ask for it to be in compliance, simply having this permit finalized and issued, would that itself put us in compliance because of where we are at the time of the year, actually starting work. And we do have a construction company contractor willing and able and ready to get going on this immediately. But to suggest that the permit is going to get pulled and the work's going to start in 30 days in the midst of the holidays, that's going to be a challenge, obviously.
Well, it seems like it's been a challenge since 2021, since September of 2021.
I'm not here arguing what's happened. I'm just here suggesting where we are.
I've got a motion on the floor. If you would respect that, please.
Yes.
Would you allow the inspector just?
Yeah, and to clarify, yes, compliance will be when your permit is final for the renovation that was started back in September of 2021. So you will have to get the permit issued and finalized for the property to come into compliance.
Yeah, and that's what the motion is, right?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Was there a second?
Oh, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next cutoff. Okay.
34.
Okay, Mr. You have until your next cutoff to come into compliance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.
You too.
Okay. Case number 33, CEB 1122257, Timothy Cropper Jr. at 217 Euclid Avenue. Mr. Jones.
Yes, this case was opened again on November 22nd, 2022. It was field generated. And this is for unpermitted parking in the yard. As you can see, boats and cars. Their first notice was May 13th, 2021, because this is a repeat violation. We get compliance was due on the original code case, but this was only noticed as a violation, so we're asking for non-compliance with compliance next cutoff.
You're going to be doing a will find on it since this is a
No,
second?
not
Yeah,
that
see,
point.
this is yes, we would be. It wasn't.
It's a new case.
It wasn't noticed that
It wasn't noticed as a repeat violation.
No, it's, you can't do that.
At least that is not how the status is on the agenda.
Okay.
Again, I apologize for some confusion as I'm representing another inspector's case.
Okay. Case number.
Take a vote.
No.
Oh, we need a motion, right?
Need a motion and a
Need a
vote.
motion.
Okay,
So
I
we
make
have
a motion that we take the city's recommendation to come in compliance or be returned to the board as a subsequent meeting for consideration up to a fine for $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Okay.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's been moved to second.
26?
Uh,
I don't think.
Our next case, number 34, is Zoom. CEB 1122259, Beth Forrester.
We haven't done that one.
She's here.
Hello, my name is Renee Collier. I'm representing Ms. Forrester. She is very ill. I presented to code zoning a notarized copy of a document she signed in order to allow me to represent her. At this time, Ms. Forrester should...
Excuse me, would you please be sworn in?
Absolutely.
Will you raise your right hand? And state your name again for the record, please.
Renee, R-E-N-E, Collier, C-O-L-Y-E-R.
Okay, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
If Mr. Jones first.
We're here from Mr. Jones at this time.
Yes, this case was opened as a citizen's complaint on May 23rd, 2022. This is for an unpermitted fence The property was posted on July 20th, 2022, with compliance due August 19th, 2022. As of the last inspection, we've had contact with the owner, but the issue remains. We're asking for non-compliance, compliance next cutoff.
A permit has been obtained. That permit number is C2211-024, and it was approved on November 18th or November 16th, 2022.
Okay. Okay. Are there any questions from the board?
How do we verify that there is a permit?
We will, the inspector, I will verify it. I'm asking for it just to be found in non-compliance. If the permit has been, if the difference is she has received the permit, I don't know if the permit has been finalized yet. I'll have to get into the building department system to see if it has been finalized. If it has been, then I will close the case.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Collier, did you hear that?
Yes, how will I know it's closed?
Do you know if they have a final inspection yet on the permit?
I called Mr. Yates last week, so I can't answer for Mr. Yates as I did not hear back from him.
Do you know if the work's been done?
The permit, the work was done without a permit. One section of fence was put up, and now it's been permitted.
So I will check that. If it's in compliance, I can get back with you, or you can contact Inspector Yates. He will be back on Monday.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
So the motion, I'll make a motion that, what did we say here?
Non-compliance.
That the respondent is in non-compliance until 1/4 to come into compliance or be returned to the board subsequent meeting for consideration and fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Close enough.
Okay.
26 now.
Ms. Collier, what about 31?
26.
Other ones.
Case number 26.
Okay. Case number 26, page 10. CEB 1022235, Alan M. Corn, 7 Waterman Circle.
Mr. Boswick here? There he is.
Mr. Boss.
There he is.
There he is. And then number 3.
All right, this case was open, field generated, open on May 5th of 2022 for peeling, fading paint, dirt and grime on the exterior of the property, dilapidated roof, overgrown landscaping. First notification was on June 2nd of 2022. Property was posted. Compliance was due by July 3rd of 2022. Last day of reinspection was December 7th of 2022. Result, non-compliance. I've spoken to the owner multiple times to discuss what needs to be done. Staff requests finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Do I hear a motion? The chair will entertain a motion to find the respondent in non-compliance.
I would like to make a motion allowing, let's see, case number 33, 26, 10-22-235 until next next day, next cutoff. Got a problem with cutoff. To our next cutoff and to come into compliance at the next cutoff, return to the board at subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
31.
Case number 31, CEB 1122253, Christina Ramdula.
Inspector Jean-Baptiste, this was a field observation on January 12, 2022, with the following violations: failure to clean dirt and grime off all exterior surfaces and repaint, failure to remove all exterior storage, debris, and unmaintained landscaping. Notice of violation was generated and sent certified mail. It went unclaimed. As such, on July 22nd, 2022, the property City Hall was posted with 20 days to comply. A site reinspection on September 7th, 2022 found the facility not to be in compliance. I've had no contact with the owners. Staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance, compliance by the next cutoff. However, as you see in the picture, it appears that landscaping is being cared for. That is not the case. The neighbor is simply, in his word, tired of this property, so he's cutting the grass. It is not being done by the owners.
Is it vacant? It looks vacant.
It is vacant.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion to find respondents in non-compliance in order to the respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date or to be subject to a fine of up to $1,000.
Go.
Here's your motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to say that the property is in non-compliance, to take the city's recommendation to come into compliance by the next cutoff date of 1/4, or be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day or until compliance is achieved.
Second.
Thank you.
All in
Merry
favor?
Christmas.
Aye.
35.
Okay.
35.
Case number 35, CEB 1122256, Roy L. Daverd.
Good morning, Inspector Stinson, Code Enforcement. This case was complaint-driven, had excessive outside storage of junk and debris and damaged driveway. Notice was generated and received by the property owner on 8/17/22. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. The property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for compliance by the next cutoff.
Any contact? I'm sorry, John.
We have had contact. It's just no progress.
Okay, I'll make a motion in the case of CEB 1122-256 to accept the city's recommendation and find the property in non-compliance and to be reviewed at the next cutoff date to come into compliance or be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 until compliance is achieved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Case number 36, CEB 1122248, Alan and Deborah Buckles at 420 Gulf Boulevard.
This is also a complaint-generated case for an unpermitted retention wall. First notice was received on 8/8/22. I have been in contact with this property owner. In fact, she was here today. There has been a permit that has been issued. The work has not been completed yet, nor has the permit been final. We're asking for non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion.
The case number CEB 11-22-248 is in noncompliance agreement with the city's recommendations, and they will have until 1/4 to come into compliance or be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration up to a fine up to $1,000 per day or until compliance is achieved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number 37, CEB 11-22-258 is in compliance as of 12/7/22. Case number 38, CEB 10-22-236, William Thomas King at 335 Williams Avenue.
This case was also a field-generated case for damaged fencing. First notice was received on 7/19/22. I have had contact with this property owner. So they removed the damaged fencing and installed a brand-new fencing on the entire property without permits. So we're asking for non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
Can you
Here will
move the
entertain a
damaged
motion.
fencing?
Removed the damaged fencing and put up.
Do they have to replace it?
No, they did not have to replace it. They could have come into compliance by repairing it, replacing it, or removing it. But they chose to remove it, and then they put in a brand-new fence all the way around the property.
With no permit?
That's correct.
Okay, that's what.
What is the motion? Chair will entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion that in the case of CEB 1022-236, that is found in non-compliance and would need to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, and return to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is attained.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
45.
Next cutoff. Case number 25.
Oh, 45.
Oh, 30.
45.
Which one? 25 or 40?
45.
45. Okay.
Case number 45, CEB 10-22-229, Adiba Sugar. It's at 530 Cannon Street. Mr. Alderman.
This case was open for damaged fencing, rotting deck and railings, broken windows, peeling paint, and overgrown property. The first notice was July 11, 2022. Compliance date was August 11, 2022. I've had no contact with the owner. The last inspection was 11/29/22, and all violations still remain. Staff requested a determination of noncompliance with compliance by the January cutoff, please.
I would like to make a motion that in the case of CEB 1022-229, is found in noncompliance, to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, next cutoff date, and be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number CEB 09-22-227.
Which one?
What number is that?
We're dead.
It's an addendum.
We did that one.
Oh, we did this one? Okay, that's it.
46.
We did Overstreet.
46.
50.
46.
We didn't do the addendum yet, but yeah, 46 is next.
46.
Okay.
The agenda?
Okay, case number 46.
Did we do the addendum already?
No, we didn't.
No, we did it.
No, but there's not.
CEB 10-22-237, Lloyd Hayes,
Much better.
at 626 Madison Avenue.
This case was opened for peeling paint, rotted and damaged fascia, and rotted soffits. First notified July 21st, 2021. Compliance date August 21st, 2021. Posted 5/17/22. Reinspection 11/29. All violations still remain. Staff requested determination of non-compliance to come into compliance by January cutoff.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion.
Somebody else?
Okay.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the city's recommendation to come into compliance by 1/4 or be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day or until compliance is achieved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I didn't have the addendum, but what was the results of this?
We didn't do it.
We didn't do it. We did
Right.
47.
We had not done it yet.
Okay.
We did 47.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, am I missing any except this one?
Just the addendum.
This one here, Overstreet.
Just the addendum.
That's the one.
The Overstreet, okay. Now, CEB 0922227 Don M. Overstreet of 712 North Halifax.
Since the last hearing on September 8th, the inspector has had no contact from the owner. They've made no progress, except possibly adding sandbags to hold the wall up. Staff's requesting a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
I would like to make a motion to impose a fine in the case of CEB 09-22-227. Let's see, for a fine of $100 a day to commence today until compliance is achieved.
Before I second his, I live close to this house, so I was thinking, I don't know if this is a residential. I think it's more of an Airbnb.
It's not going to affect your vote, is it?
No.
Don't worry.
It would affect,
Oh.
if it is not being homesteaded,
It'd be
it would be a $15,000 fine.
No?
We can look that up very quickly, but I don't have that information.
I mean, I'm just saying that because I see different cars in there all the time.
Yeah.
So
You just make it 15, leave for 10?
I just look at my surroundings and be careful where I'm walking.
Contingent upon the finding that it's,
Homestead.
Well, I'll second and
We'll adjust it.
on our side.
Okay, can adjust it.
Yeah.
With continuing, it can be adjusted later. Okay. Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
That's
That
it.
might be why she
We're
never
done.
Neil has a question.
Before we adjourn, I'd like to address Mr. Sykes. I attended a CRA meeting about 2 months ago, and the planning director made a presentation about a new sign ordinance, and it would affect future cases, or maybe even today. I don't know. I don't know whether that passed in process or.
Sign orders or fence orders?
Completely changed some of the ways that you repair fences, and you didn't have
Fences.
relaxed rules, and it's important that we know that, but if we're gonna hear fences.
As I get information, I'll make sure you are aware of it.
Somewhere.
Right now, there have been no changes that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the process, because they made that presentation.
So I do have a question about this easement thing, because supposedly I have an easement that runs through my yard for AT&T, but my yard is gated. So,
Means what you'd have to do, you'd have to, at your expense, move the fence, AT&T got to get in there. But it's your property.
Yeah, that's why I said knock it down. I used to work for a light company.
I mean, I have no problems with letting AT&T on my property.
Yeah.
But I guess when she said that the fence line ran right through, that it got me concerned about my property. But I don't. I mean,
It's
I'm
just
not
a
gonna
right
say-
of use. You have a right to use it if they need to use it.
Okay, and that's fine with me.
Still your property.
And the
Still your
manner in which
property.
you do it generally has to do with whether it's emergency or not. But
Right, and I don't care.
they have a right to use it
Yeah.
at will.
And I don't care if they
It's,
come in.
it's still your property. It's change title.
And I've had
And
a
it'd be nice
big,
if they come and clean it up after, I mean, I had 18.
No, we keep it. I mean, we clean it, so it,
They went and threw stuff all up in my tree
They-
and all that stuff and left it all, and I
they
called them,
came
man.
and they tore down mine once, but they came back, fixed it, and cleaned it up better. But this is what I want to say. Besides feeling lousy, and I may not have a home when I leave here, but I am so proud of Daytona PD. I just love seeing them on TV. Now, maybe y'all think that's a little wacky, but I think it's great. I really do. And to see the officers, you know, I think it's really something we should have been doing a long time ago.
Ms. Hahn, I want to thank you for running this meeting today. It was an easy
Are
meeting. It
you
wasn't an easy
kidding?
meeting.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
This was a fun meeting.
It was a-